What?
And I'm going to give you one opportunity because we're friends.
Winner!
Yeah, F him. They went from loving this guy, best move ever, to hating him.
There's nowhere for him to go. I think there's one place.
You can't do that in the national team.
Do you even know what you're talking about?
Successful and sexy? No. It wasn't aggravating at times? Yes.
Sorry,
That's not very fair.
It's not about being fair.
Welcome to the greatest soccer show ever.
All Man United fans live in the past.
Ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls, welcome to the weekly recap from We Are Soccer. Oh boy, we are officially a week away from the EPL starting. The Bundesliga starting is in 2 weeks after that, actually, a week after that. So all the domestic leagues are starting up. U.S. women's team, crash. Yikes. We'll have some thoughts there. Lots of talk around the coach, the subs, the players, the formations, the everything, the tactics. We'll talk about it. They crash out to Sweden this morning. Whoopsie. Some of us predicted that on this show. So we got U.S. women crashing out. We've got Community Shield happen today. What's the Community Shield? Does it mean anything? Is it important? We'll talk about it. We'll hear some of the boys' thoughts on it. Bayern Munich submit their final bid. And then Daniel Levy went on vacation. Lots to get to there. We've got a host of pieces to get to. We're going to talk about friendlies, whether they're important, whether they're meaningless. Messi Mania continues to roll on. We've got divided thoughts here on that. People are shaking their head already. Listen, it's not his fault he's the greatest player to ever play in the world. It is what it is. All right, that's enough from me. Why don't we check in with the boys at a kids' day? But you know what? Before we do that, I do want to let everybody know we have a little bit of a format change here on We Are Soccer. We have officially brought on a new person to the show. Danny, welcome to the show officially, my friends.
Thank
you. You are now one of the four of us. One of the
One of us.
One of the pieces of furniture.
Thank you very much. It's nice to be here again.
Oh, you say that now.
Sat next to the
We needed 2 English people, right? Not just one.
Where's the
Right.
second? One.
sat across from us.
What do you consider him?
Oh,
Is he American?
Hey!
What color is your passport? Pull it out now.
Which one?
Which one? The one that's not expired.
Yeah.
He's hosting We Are Soccer, but really, truly, he's an MI6 agent.
No, he's not.
Yes, he is.
He'd get his ass
He works
kicked.
with James Bond.
Yeah, 007.
He'd get ass kicked by the Mission Impossible crew.
What's Craig's number? 009 or something?
No one holds a stone to Ethan Hunt, full stop. And by Ethan Hunt, I mean Tom Cruise, which is really Ethan Hunt doing his own stunts, jumping out of planes. Prove me wrong.
It's all about Jason Bourne.
Prove me wrong.
Sean Connery, 007.
Did he jump out a goddamn plane like a real plane? Like Tom Cruise is actually trying to kill himself.
But did you see the way he interacted with the female actors on the
Yeah, that's true.
You know,
I think Jason Bourne trumps both of them.
I do like Jason Bourne.
He was jumping from building to
like
building,
Jason Bourne, yeah.
just
Come on.
killing people left and right.
So anyways, to the far distance left of me, apparently my modules are way too high.
Nate, I can't touch your hand anymore.
He's more skilled on the stats than a Messi on the ball. He's less depressing than a women's national team loss. And he's as tasty as this fine dog and pony beer that I'm drinking. Ladies and gentlemen, he's huge in India. It's Brooks Lambier Jr. Always twice. And then to the left of me, that's right, I'm going side by side. He's good looking, he's smart, and he's got some sick arm sleeve tattoos. The United staple to the left, right, I don't know. Right is the wall. Left of me, he's yours, one and only, the mean, the lean, the fighting machine, Danny P.
That was quite the intro.
Yeah, you know.
How many coffees have you had?
None. Well, earlier 3. I screwed up because I wrote to the right of me. I don't know what I was thinking there because to the right of me is a wall, a dead fly. Anyways, Craig, on to the show.
Yeah.
All right, as I'm busy doing some Facebook there. Apologies. All right, so as you can see...
Facebooking?
Yeah,
You still have an account?
no, not really, yes. The second... Shh, don't tell Facebook. So,
All of a sudden, instant ban.
all of a sudden I get banned again.
I have systematically been banned 3 times from an FC Cincinnati support border group, and I've never been banned on any Facebook group, even the commerce one that I constantly troll about Chipotle. Never once, but that group 3 times for just posting nothing. I'm literally, I sent things to the admins. I'm like, again? I'm like, what'd I do here?
They definitely do not. Probably because you're from Michigan.
Yeah, it could be.
All right, so as you guys can see, we've got Nate, Danny, and Brooks. Brooks has moved over to his own table. Congratulations. We'll call that a promotion. You got your own table there, my friend, the stats table. You're going to keep us on track. You're going to tell us when we're wrong. You're going to tell us, you're going to do some research for us through the show.
Oh, that's some
and run the soundboard.
That's some wonderful masonry work that we're done to the back.
Yeah, you know.
God damn.
You know what, Nate? While you were writing down your intro, the rest of us were putting together that brick background on Brooks. Yeah, I mean,
I also made food. Brought him food bags.
He did.
You did actually, and
You did.
we're all now super full and need a quick nap.
And you were here at least 15 minutes before live time.
I was early.
Yeah, you were.
Yeah.
Normally you're coming in at 8:59 hot.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. I had brownie points.
Yeah,
It's a new name.
And you brought food.
Yeah, it's a new name.
new Nate.
Hey.
All right, boys, let's jump in. Let's talk soccer. That's what we're here for. That's what people want to see and hear. U.S. women's national team crash out to Sweden this morning on penalties. Oh, my. Oh, my. That's all I can really say. That was pretty much what we expected, to be honest. The game against Vietnam where they opened up and they won 3-0, it was poor. But, again, probably didn't want to give too much of the cards away and how you're playing and what you're doing. The second game against Netherlands, first half, poor. Absolutely poor. Second half, that was the American national team that I thought we were going to be seeing throughout the rest of the World Cup. And then against Portugal, they were lucky to stay in it and lucky to advance to the next round. And then they ran into Sweden today. And for some reason, the USA did what they did against the Netherlands. It just was not good, to be honest. That's all I've got to say. They in the back solid, in the midfield was all right, up front unimaginative, just not able to put the ball in the back of the net, not able to really create what I think they needed to do. And to be honest, it got to penalties, and woof. Wow. I don't remember the last time I saw penalty kicks taken like that were so important and just missing the net or just not doing.
Maybe they're still holding back so they don't give too much away.
Maybe that's it. Maybe
Maybe.
that's it. Yeah,
It's the long game. You don't want to show all your
True.
cards
this is true.
for the next World Cup, so you hold back.
Yeah, that's a good point. That's probably what it was.
Strategy.
So what is now being dubbed as the closest VAR goal ever given. When I first saw it, I thought, no, that entire ball hasn't crossed the line. And then they zoomed in, and they zoomed in, and they zoomed in, and you're like, yep, yeah, right. There's a blade of grass between the ball and the line. That's a goal.
I believe the kids call it pixelate.
Right.
Enhanced. Enhance.
It was a pixel and maybe a pixel and a half. There was a space there. It was not much, but that's what did it. And USA are out. There are a lot of people who are happy to see this because, to be honest, we all know that the rest of the world have caught up to the USA. USA were ranked number 1, but honestly, I don't think they should have been that high. Coming into the tournament, they hadn't won a ton of games. They've been playing poorly for the last 6 months. Now, Vlatko Andonovski has a decision to make. Does he stick with it or does he resign? Like he absolutely should, because he got this wrong. He absolutely 100% got this World Cup wrong. He should be ashamed of the subs he made. He should be ashamed of the tactics he played. I don't think he took the right players to the World Cup. You got to resign, my friend. This is not where you need to be. Danny? What are your thoughts on
Easy,
Black?
Tiger, with the whole resigning
I'm
thing.
sorry. That was
Easy.
Was that not poor from the players he had?
You know,
today?
like I've seen some of the online comments, right, and you know, and people posting on our group Facebook online and all that sort of stuff. And while the comments that they're unsavory, right? I mean, they're unsavory. You know, everyone has a right to their opinion, but you know, let's take a moment of pause, really, before we as a fan base completely condemn an individual or an entire team. we've got to first admire and, more importantly, admit that the rest of the world has actually indeed caught up with the U.S. women's national team. And
Alex Morgan admitted that, by the way.
and surpassed it, in
Yeah.
my opinion.
Yeah.
Right. And that pride, right, should come from a place of understanding that, that this country, the women's national team, was the original pioneer of the way the beautiful game was played. Really, to be honest with you, and success in today's women's soccer is it's really a truly investment. It's truly a big investment in style, philosophy, and it's not solely reliant on pace and power, which I think, we can all look at the way that the US have played, and it's not been great. It's really not. When you look at the likes of Japan and France and England and Spain, and you see that the way that they play with such fluency and creativity, we've got to take our hats off to them that these countries have caught up. So, it's either you change and evolve, or you get knocked out of a tournament in the round of 16.
I think you're right. Change and evolve. And I don't think the USA changed and evolved. I don't think the coaching allowed them. I don't think he thought they needed to change and evolve. I mean, the subs, he barely made any subs, to be honest, throughout the tournament. And the subs he did make, you were wondering, why? What? There's only one sub I actually agreed with the entire tournament, and it was at the halftime of the Netherlands game when he brought Rose Lavelle in. And I thought, that changed the game. She put some bite into it.
By the way, I have a question. I have a serious question. Did he only take 15 players? Because it seemed like it, didn't it?
It absolutely seemed like it. Absolutely seemed like it. Absolutely.
I mean, why did he take Rodman off today?
No idea. Idea.
She was absolutely tearing that left-hand side apart. Why did he bring her off today? I don't understand that.
To put in the legend, Megan Rapinoe.
Oh, what to give her a last run out before she retired?
To put in the legend, Megan Rapinoe.
So that she could give the ball away 6 out of 7 times, miss-hit free kicks, and then miss the penalty so wildly that she started laughing.
Yeah, I mean,
I agree. Why take Rodman off?
Yeah,
Why?
There's a lot.
Put in the legend, Megan Rapinoe.
There's a lot wrong.
I told you this.
There's a lot wrong with it, and I don't necessarily think it points to the manager. I think if somebody posted, I think it was Scott
Emmert.
No, it was one of our usual Facebook. It might have been Dan or something like that, and he's put in there and looked at all the youth results and the previous results of the under-21s, under-18s, under-17s over the last tournaments that they've been into, and it's not been great.
No,
it's not been great. So, there's more of a problem than just the first team.
Yeah, absolutely. This goes deeper than that. You're absolutely right. He, in my opinion, left a couple of people at home. Plus, we will have to say that Mallory Swanson, Pugh, married name, the knee injury she suffered 3 months ago, right before the start of the World Cup, obviously is a bummer. She was putting the ball in the net, scoring goals, actually playing very well. Really would have helped this team out. But again, I think, like you said, it seems like he took 15 players. Why didn't he make more subs? Why didn't he change things up? It just seems like he didn't trust anybody else but the starting 11, and then Megan Rapinoe. And again, great. You put her in the first game, like we all said. You put her in the easy game, get her some minutes, get her the send-off she deserves. Now let's get into the real, the Netherlands and Portugal, and then to Sweden in the knockout round. And she still appeared in those games. And why? She didn't bring anything to the team at all. And I do want to preface this by saying, politics aside, absolutely, whether you agree with her or disagree with her, using her platform and the politics outside of her, the soccer, doesn't bother me. I don't care. Whether you like it or hate it, whatever. On the field, from day one, showed that she wasn't able to bring it. Why did the coach keep going back?
I could tell you it was as vitally important that she hit the field and played significant time. She has purple hair, and the mascot also had purple hair.
Great insight from Nate there on the U.S. women's national team.
Therefore, they need to be on the field.
Yes. Yep. I got to be honest, I'm going to have to go with that as well, because there's no other explanation as to why she kept getting on the field.
I have an explanation. It's an explanation I've been saying for the last 5-6 years when it comes to this team. It's arrogance. It's complacency. It's what I heard at a coaching convention long ago, and I called this happening. And I saw the writing on the wall when I heard that. It said it's a matter of time. Everyone's going to catch up. I'm not surprised.
No.
I haven't been surprised. I had the very same conversation with some people I know. What do I think? I said they're in trouble.
We talked earlier on today, didn't we? We talked about the
in a long
European.
time.
We talked about the European Championship final between England and Germany last year, and the quality that was in that game.
Yeah.
The style and approach of the game at Wembley in that European Championship final, the way that England played, the way that Germany played, it was a fantastic game to watch. That same style hasn't been present for the US for a long time.
Agreed.
For a long time. And the other thing I will say as well is, and maybe Brooks can shed a little bit of light on this. I know he knows a little bit more than myself, obviously, admittedly, than the NWSL. But Sophia Smith, for in her NWSL club, it seemed like she played more through the middle and played out wide, for the US. So maybe that had a factor into it. And I don't know how Alex Morgan's been playing in her league games as well, but.
I will say that Alex Morgan in the NWSL this year has played very well. She scored some goals. She looked like a top player. I thought she deserved to be in the squad for the U.S. women's national team. Starting every game, I don't know about that. I do not know about
It was
that.
something I said earlier. They're a product of their own demise.
Yeah.
They did great things for the game globally to promote it, to bring revenue to it, to increase revenue to it, and into it. And what happened was the rest of the world started taking it seriously and started investing in it because they saw some return in a way to market.
Yep.
And you can absolutely thank the women's national team, our women's national team, for doing that. And they didn't grow with it. And they thought they were better than everyone. And it caught up. Now, I don't think they hit rock bottom, if you ask me.
You think it's going to drop even further than what it is
I don't
right
think
now?
it's gotten. I don't think it's hit to the bottom yet.
Wow. I think this has.
I don't think it's a wake up call.
I think this has to be the worst that they can
It is.
actually get to. I don't think they can afford to go any further because if they do, the rest of the world passes it. I think the U.S. population who enjoy watching U.S. women's soccer is going to go, wait a minute, we're not good anymore? Oh, you know what? I'm going to go watch this other sport, this lacrosse or pickleball or whatever it may be.
Or the men's national team.
Or the men's national team.
Like,
But
we're not even talking about the fact that they played anybody what I would consider a top team at the moment. I mean, they got outplayed by Netherlands.
Mhm.
They got outplayed by
Scored
Sweden.
They scored 1 goal in 3 games. Don't count Vietnam. They don't count.
they absolutely do not count.
1 goal in 3 games, and the 3 games that matter. 1 goal.
I think we can all agree.
Yeah.
Poor.
So the one thing
Absolutely
I
poor.
found when I was watching, so they've never ever went 0-0 back-to-back games. That's the first time they've ever done that in their history for the U.S. women's national team. They never gone.
Brooks coming through with some stats.
Yeah.
Hot stats.
And then there was a quote that speaks to what Nate was talking about. I think it was Alex Morgan. It was one of the ones that probably have the last run with the women's national team. Was essentially what Nate said was, everyone's caught up to us. It's been good for the game, and it's a lot more competitive now than Women's World Cup, which is a good thing. But I mean, it's a common thing with U.S. soccer, in my opinion. It's on the men's and women's side. In my opinion, it's identifying the proper players, having the faith that you need to bring the young players in, and then they can make a difference. And essentially, when to understand that you need to get rid of the old guard because they're not going to do anything for you. So I think it's important. You have to go through these cycles, and I think it's important for the U.S. women to go through the cycle like this. Nate could be right. This could not be This might not be rock bottom for them, to be honest with you. So it'll be interesting to see. Does Vlatko Andonovski, does he deserve? I don't know. I mean, he didn't sub a lot of people, and people were really upset about that. He was playing veterans that probably, honestly, like a Megan Rapinoe, probably didn't really need to come on until the last 10, 15 minutes because, I mean, she's not the player she was a long time ago. And then Alex Morgan missed, besides missing that horrific PK against Vietnam, pretty much did nothing. But, I mean, if you look at the chances, though, with this, I mean, attempted goals, I mean, just for the stats here for the U.S.-Sweden game, I mean, 21-8 for total attempted goals. So on target, the U.S. women's national team had 12 compared to 1 for Sweden. Off targets, they missed the net 7 times. Sweden once, and then inside the penalty area, U.S. was in there 13 times compared to Sweden, which was only 5. And then outside the penalty area, 8 attempts versus 3 for Sweden. So that's a lot of shots missed, in my opinion, and horrendous accuracy, or maybe not trying to get the ball wide and then trying to whip the ball maybe low into the box. But if you really think about it, there's no Abby Wambach, so there's no aerial presence or dominance anymore. Alex Morgan really just kind of tends to just run straight in behind. She may have some runs off the back shoulder, but they don't have any creativity to get in behind. Lindsey Horan has just shoots, and she hits the goal like 1 out of 5 times, which is not very consistent. And Rose Lavelle was injured. I feel like if Rose Lavelle wasn't injured, maybe we're talking about a different story.
I thought I heard.
I have the
that
lineup
she was
here.
Suspended.
Oh, is she
because
suspended?
Picked up a yellow card in the
Okay.
prior game.
Fair enough.
Either way,
But when you're relying on Trinity Rodman and a young player in Sophia Smith, and Lindsey Horan was supposed to be the one to step up last World Cup, and she didn't, and then she was okay this one, and then you bring in a Julie Ertz who's coming off a major injury. You're going to play her in the back line. I know she's been a steady Eddie, but off a major injury she was coming off of. Didn't she do her ACL if I'm not mistaken? I know she was coming off having a child, right?
Yeah.
Or was that
Ertz.
Ertz? Was that coming off after having a child?
She had a child, and then I think she was also in and around there had an injury or two.
Okay.
So I can't remember off the top of my head.
So you got Sofia Huerta on the bench. Kelly O'Hara came in, Lynn Williams came in. They have the young girl Alyssa Thompson. Alana Cook, Christy Mewis. They had some young players that they could have probably brought in off the bench to make difference. But
Again, that's Ando Vladko's. That's his issue. He didn't bring in the right players. I think he stuck with some of the old guns, and that was his problem. That was his fault. And guess what? Now they're going home. Whether they've hit rock bottom or not, we'll see. We'll see how this goes. But the rest of the world has now caught up and surpassed the USA, and the Women's World Cup will continue without the U.S. Women's National Team. I at this point with some of the big teams going home. I think this is England's to lose, to be honest. I think they could be the ones to go on and win this. Which
England
would
or
be nice.
Spain.
England or Spain.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. But I just, for some reason, see England going, getting to the final and losing in PKs.
Well, the big news that came out of that today was Sarah Wagman, the English coach.
Yep.
She came out in a presser today and said that Kira Walsh has actually been training the past week. In closed doors games and stuff.
After suffering the knee injury in the first game.
So it was wasn't as bad as it was first feared. So Kira's just a massive player for us. So
we'll see what happens and how that continues. All right, let's move on. Community Shields. So I had a couple of people text me today and say, "What the hell is a Community Shield?"
It's like a friendly on steroids.
It really
you
I
get
had
a
a
plate.
friend, one of my friend from Scotland said that they really don't care about the Community Shield in England.
Well, your friend
hold-
from Scotland doesn't eat off plates, clearly.
Hold tight.
Okay.
Hold tight.
That's
All
what he
right.
tells me, though. We were talking
So
about it.
what is the Community Shield? Obviously, it is a preseason friendly, but there is a piece of silverware up for grabs. It's played at Wembley every year, except for last year when the Euros were happening in England, so it was played at the King Power Stadium in Leicester. But this year, Man City, league winners, and it's usually against the FA Cup winners, but Man City won that, so it was against Arsenal this year. So Arsenal played at Wembley against Man City. Both teams played full lineups and went at it. Before we kind of give a rundown, Danny, what your thoughts, specifically being English, growing up, knowing the FA Cup, the league, and everything that goes into it. It's a nice day out for the fans. What are your thoughts on the Community Shields?
Hold on. Before we get to that, you realize he just admitted he didn't grow up English. Okay, go.
No, I didn't. I said you grew
Let's
up
go.
in England.
Let's go.
Okay.
No, you said growing
It's
up English.
Onwards.
it's a curtain raiser. It's a curtain raiser the week before the season, gets everybody kind of back into the mold of we're getting back to weekend football, being on television and going to games and such. I think it's another other preseason game opportunity for the manager to get a look at his players, and obviously you're playing the winner of the FA Cup or the second place in the league, depending on who wins both competitions. But I always enjoyed it. I always enjoyed it when we were in it. I've been to Wembley quite a few times to watch the Community Shield, and it's always a good day out.
Yeah. You don't put too much stock into it, though, right? If you win, it's great. You get a little piece, you get a big trophy, a big plate, but it's not that You're not thinking we're going to go win the league because we've won it, you know. And if you lose it, you don't think you're getting relegated, but you don't put too much stock into it. Either way,
not unless you're Mikel Arteta.
Yeah.
He was like a jack in the box today. Psycho.
I mean, to be honest, they beat one of their biggest rivals, right? So excited, but so was Pep when Man City scored. He was looking like he was into it, and both clubs wanted it. Both managers wanted it. It was a decent game, actually. I watched it. It was a decent game, back and forth. I liked some of the pieces things that were happening, but it's very clear Man City are missing a central midfielder with who they've lost this year. Kovacic just is not that creative piece that they need, and it's very.
From one game, we're going to determine that, Craig.
Yes.
Hold tight.
Their season is doomed.
Hold tight.
They're done.
And it's very clear Arsenal need to get Jesus back and running properly, because Kai Havertz up top, you cannot win the Premier League with Kai Havertz up top. He can score goals, but he should not be your number 9.
Arteta was praising him, I believe, for all he did.
He has to.
Really? Because he didn't play very well today.
has to.
Hasn't had a very good preseason. But
Can't
as Danny says,
Can't publicly 2-foot tackle the
He
kid.
did well against
first
MLS
game.
All-Stars.
yes.
So
I mean, well, he is playing gross at
there
him.
were several things that I took away from the game today, and we talked about this last week on the show with the new rules, right? The new rules and the implementation of the rules, right? So there was 3 things I took away from it. How would the new rules implementation fare? And Arteta was booked. He got a yellow card in the first half for simulation because he was asking for a card, so he got booked.
Yeah.
And then 11 minutes of stoppage time. So the new rules are taking effect
They're in
right
effect.
away, right away. The second thing I took from it was Havertz has brought his Chelsea form with him to Arsenal, which was no surprise there. And then the third thing I took from it was Pep is not in favour of the implementation of the new rules, so there was no surprise there.
Yeah.
Do you want to quickly run on the stats for the game?
Wait, hold on.
Yeah, go for it.
Okay.
I'm going to defend my German cohort.
Kai Havertz.
You know I'm going to do the stats first,
In
and
2
then
seconds.
okay.
You're going to defend Kai Havertz.
Yep, I am.
Who I do feel who is playing out of position.
And that's what it is.
at
He's
Arsenal.
He's not a forward. He did lose the most duels that there were in the game. However, he had 15 of 16 accurate passes. He's an attacking midfielder. I mean, that's what he should be playing.
But he also had 2, I don't want to say half chances, but closer to full chances.
He's not
And he
a
fluffed
forward.
their line, fluffed his lines.
Kai Havertz.
He's not a forward. So
Kai
when
Havertz
he was
is the
being
most
playing-
overrated German player since Lucas Podolski.
No, I want to.
He's part Polish.
Timo Werner.
Yes. Kai Havertz couldn't hit the ocean from a boat with an inflatable ball.
He's not
Literally.
a forward. He's not a forward. Brooks, help me out. Stats, go.
Yes.
Pew.
Yes. Okay. So stats, we are shot 7. Man City 8-7, leading in shots today. Shots on target 4-3. Man City. Possession 55 Man City, 45 Arsenal. Passes 590 for Man City, 485 for Arsenal. Fouls a lot more from Man City, 11-6. 1-3 for yellow cards, so 3 for Arsenal. Well, obviously, with Arteta getting one of those.
What were corner kicks? What were the corner kicks at?
Corners 6-5.
Okay.
So Man City with one more.
I actually thought
No offsides for both.
no offside.
Yeah, 0-0.
That's interesting.
Yeah.
I actually thought Arsenal would have more corners. They had a flurry of corners late in the first half.
So I shall help you, and you did say for Real Madrid that Kai Havertz could play center forward for them. To be fair, just to kind of,
Oh, when Madrid was looking at picking him up?
Yeah, but did you feel that he'd be better for them
No,
just
no,
because of the
he's-
way they play?
No, I felt like if you had to,
As a
like
last
in this
resort?
game, in a last resort,
Yeah.
you punk him in.
Fair enough.
You play different.
Fair enough.
He's not a forward. He's an attacking mid. He's a midfielder player.
Okay.
I think your love for the Germans is clouding you, my friend.
I think when you say, hey, he plays just like he is doing in Chelsea, and in Chelsea he was playing out of position as well, you're 100% right.
Well,
Play him in his regular position, and then let's see how he does. And if he does shit, then okay, he's shit.
Yep.
But until you play him in his natural position and what he does, which is not a lone striker anywhere, ever, nowhere. You saw it for the national team. He didn't do well there, and they put him in attacking mid, and he fucking lit it up.
Mm-hmm.
Well, why buy him and then play him as false 9 then?
Because it's a friendly. Oh, sorry. It's a plate game.
Plate game. I agree, Danny. I don't know.
And
I'm
the
not
Jesus
sure where
wasn't ready.
I'm not sure where he fits in, but
So
we
play
will see.
Eddie and Keita.
They should have. I don't know. Go talk to Arteta. That's I would have dropped him back. Absolutely.
Arteta.
Yeah, him too.
Was he getting him confused with David Archuleta?
I think
Yeah.
that's what the rap,
Archuleta?
the
Rapper
artist.
Archuleta?
We
Yeah.
we were watching Friends on the couch together, holding hands last night. So we,
I'll be there
Again,
for you.
again. Is that like
You
your
were really
typical
watching
thing?
Friends?
no.
Yeah.
Mind your goddamn business. But yes. Wait, what?
Hey, this is the new bromance table.
Yeah.
We haven't figured out quite a name for it yet, but
We're
Yeah.
snugglers.
If anybody has a new name for the kids table, now that we've moved people around, let us-
uncomfortable
It's kind of like we're like the X-rated table over there.
The
You know,
uncomfortable-
like we are soccer after dark.
Ooh, we are
The
soccer after
uncomfortable,
hours.
the
Yeah.
uncomfortable table.
The uncomfortable table. All right, so the Community Shield obviously is a friendly, but there is a piece of silverware. No team real. So look at this. Look at this. Last year, Liverpool went on and beat Manchester City 3-1,
And then they won the league.
and Man City went on to win the league
Oh.
and win the treble.
Let me.
And Liverpool went on to shit the bed for.
Wait, are you sure about that? Let me look.
For a lack of a better term. I don't know. Did I get that? Is that for something I said? Or
Well,
did
Liverpool did bad, so that's why.
Liverpool
Yeah,
definitely
they did the
did
alarm.
last year. I will say last piece on the Community Shield. It's a nice day out, but these two teams, it definitely looked like Arsenal picked up a captain in Declan Rice and are now really focused in that center of the midfield. They're just lacking a little bit up top. They haven't quite figured out what's going on there. Defensively, I liked where they're at. Man City looked like they lost their captain. They missed Gundogan. They absolutely missed Gundogan. They missed a little bit more creativity in Mahrez. I still think, based on this game and what they've seen throughout their preseason, they will go on to buy someone else. I forget the guy's name. I'm not going to pronounce it. The kid from Napoli, the Greek midfielder. I think he fits into this team amazingly well.
They're gonna get.
It is going to cost you $100 million to get him.
There's
though.
no way they can afford that. They're gonna buy him this year. You think?
I think
all-
he would fit in well. I think they may
They
float
just-
something out there. There's nothing wrong with.
Spent $100 million on a center back. So
I don't think you can rely. I don't think you can rely on Mateo Kovacic.
I don't think you can
I don't
either.
think
He
you
played.
can. I'm
He
just
played
saying.
too deep today.
Yes.
They almost played as
See-
a double pivot next
Yep.
to
Spent
Rodri.
$100 million on a center back.
That's how he played at
Now-
Chelsea, though.
Now, Nate,
Right.
what you are forgetting is that they have sold a couple players, right? Gundogan left on a free. They sold Mahrez to Saudi Arabia.
Or how much?
João Cancelo, 30 or 40 million. Was it 35 million for Mahrez? Someone looked at Nate. Brooks.
Yes,
And then João Cancelo has left the club as well, I believe. He went off and he was sold. Or will be. So there should be a little bit of influx money coming in. They've also got a couple of extra players. Calvin Phillips has been rumored to be wanting out. They could sell him. They can raise some funds to get to $100 million to get the Greek kid.
If
That'd be a transfer fee of £30 million to Al Hali for Riyad Mahrez.
For Mahrez, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Okay.
if you rally, maybe you can get it done. But at your current state, I think you're gonna have to sell a couple to get the guy.
I don't see that happening when you've just dropped 100 million euros on Garvidal.
By the way, Napoli, I don't think is inclined to sell him either.
No, they are really not. But you know, you never know.
He doesn't generally. Pep doesn't generally do business this late as well. I mean,
No,
we're
you're
7
right.
days away from the end of 6 days from the opener. You know,
But do you see, Danny, the big hole that I see in the middle of the field for
well, there was no
Man City?
There was no fluency in their midfield.
or
You
creativity?
know, until De Bruyne came on. You know.
And he's injured. Can
Oh, is
you
he
can you
back?
depend on
Yeah.
him? Can
No.
you depend on him for
No,
an
and
entire season?
that's the thing is that I think you're going to see changes over the next year or two with that because I don't think I mean De Bruyne has had his fair share of injuries, right?
Yeah,
And to be honest, so I don't think I think they do need reinforcements in there.
Yep.
For sure. I mean, obviously they went out and bought Haaland, so they're all set with him and the young lad up front. So
Alvarez, yeah.
yeah, Alvarez, yeah. But they're definitely lacking in the midfield now. I mean, they've sold that really haven't replaced David Silva. And to be honest with you, the natural replacement for David Silva is Phil Foden, and he doesn't utilize him as much as he should.
Right, puts him on the wing.
Right.
Just puts him on the wing because I don't think Phil.
I
Foden
wonder
is
why
strong
Phil
enough in the
Foden
middle.
just sticks with Man City. I don't know why he doesn't ask for a
Because
transfer.
he's a
Born and
Manchester
bred.
lad.
Yeah, born and bred
Born
in
and bred,
Manchester,
yeah.
Manchester City kid.
Doesn't matter if I'm that big of a name of a player and I've done well. I would I want to transfer out.
This coming from the guy who said Matt Turner shouldn't leave the MLS for the EPL to be a backup.
Phil Foden's on a different status than Matt Turner.
Yeah,
so
Matt Turner's way popular than Phil Foden.
yeah, I mean, you're talking about Phil Foden, who was the under 20 World Cup MVP.
Never heard of him.
Had to wait his time for a very long time, and actually has produced pretty well. I always said when he was waiting on the Man City bench that NYCFC should have asked for a loan, and he could have played in MLS. So that was my thing.
Man City
But-
knew what they were doing with Phil Foden.
But I think Phil Foden should be I think it's time so I can be a full-time starter. And
he ain't leaving anywhere.
He had to wait a huge time.
You didn't think Phil Foden wants to be the man eventually?
At 23, time is really.
Well, all right. So
I mean, he's winning everything at City. You're not gonna leave. Like, where are you gonna go?
Maybe he wants a challenge. He wants to be the man at a club, and he wants to be the guy that takes a team, wins all the trophies.
I mean, he's very, very similar to Marcus Rashford in that they were both Manchester lads. They're not going anywhere else in the Premier League.
What if he goes?
But he scores more goals than Marcus Rashford, right, Craig?
Rashford, different players.
Craig, that was a cue for you to agree with me.
Okay, I'll agree with you.
Because the Man United table.
I think it's.
Whoa! Do not call it the Man United table.
I think it's time maybe that Calvin Phillips maybe got around him. Maybe you still start playing Phil Foden in that midfield. I think it's time that you look inwards versus than trying to get $100 million player that you don't know is going to work out for you.
I mean, the natural replacement for Gundogan would have been Foden to play in the midfield.
Yes.
Right.
For some reason, it's just
natural
not
replacement.
there.
I just don't.
It's not. Hold on. It's hasn't. You haven't even kicked off game 1 of the season. You don't know if that's actually going to be the thing he does yet. It could. Maybe.
Oh, possibly, yeah. I mean, he gave Kovacic a run out today, but he played as a double pivot.
I mean, I understand the illustrious English plate is almost as good as the German plate.
I don't know where
give
we're
it a
going
minute.
with that.
I've got
I
no
don't know
comment
where
with
we're
that
going
one.
with
Next
Plates.
topic.
All
Plates are good.
I do want to say, we'll stick with Man City for a second here. Pep Guardiola has actually come out and said he might be interested in extending his contract. Last year, he came out and said he's going to be done in 2 years. He's going to leave to 2025. He's out. Now he's actually come out and said, yeah, I think I could be tempted into staying and continuing here and doing more. Interesting. I know a lot of fans were hoping he'd leave the game. I personally hope he stays because I love how he keeps changing the game around the world by just the little things, right? We just talked about it, the double pivot, playing John Stones, taking him out as a center back, putting him in the middle. The way he has been playing with a false 9, the way he takes players and inverts, just incredible. The small changes he makes in his team, and everybody else follows. I will give you a quick example. I think Unai Emery at Aston Villa is actually following what Manchester City have been doing. They play a 4 when they don't have the ball. When they do have the ball, they play a 3-back. They got 3 solid center backs who drop in, and now their winger gets very high. I think they're doing the same thing, and he has changed the game so much, Pep Guardiola has, that other teams, other big clubs are now following suit. So interesting to see if he extends his contract there. Any words on that?
Has Pep forgotten the fact that the club is facing 115 charges for financially breaking rules?
No, he said he was going to quit and resign or whatever if that ever happened. So clearly they're not. You're wrong.
So he believes they're innocent.
No, there's no charges. None.
You've been
Next topic.
It's like the American political
Are you
system.
calling him a liar because he said he would resign if there was any charges? So
but it hasn't been concluded yet, has it?
There clearly is no charges.
But it hasn't been concluded.
Is he
Tied up.
resigned?
It is tied up in court still.
It's
For the next 15 years.
there's no
And
charges.
he did come out and say, he said that if they are found
exactly.
guilty, that and you did lie to me, I will be leaving the next day.
So clearly, there are no charges. None. Everything's clean. Nothing to see here. Don't look.
Said it
Can
before.
I see your books?
I said it before. I'll say
No.
it again. Every team's doing it.
Yeah, but when you kind of put your representation on the line with the quote, and then you don't back it up, Statman, what's that called? Starts with the H. Hypocrite.
So again,
No, he should go back to the
there
German
are-
league and
there are
actually
charges.
win something.
yes, there are.
Or he should go to MLS.
Did you
and
say
try to
actually
win
go back
something.
and win something?
He did win something.
You won a lot.
Not the Champions League,
Kaboom!
Oh Jesus.
and he hasn't won MLS Cup or CONCACAF Champions League, so he's not the greatest coach in the world.
Remember, Fire Nagelsmann won the same stuff that he won, too.
Yes. And Tuchel's won that too, hasn't he?
Did you just put all those coaches in the same category as?
No, I'm just saying he should go to
Guardiola.
German league for a challenge and actually do what he said he would do.
Yeah. And go to MLS with salary caps and see if he can do the same thing.
Yeah, and then go to the Canadian league with
The
Tim
CPL.
Hortons
The CPL.
and coffee.
And then League MX.
I don't think he's ready to go to MLS and retire yet, Brooks.
Ooh.
Hmm. Forget you.
I had to get the shots in fired on day one. Sorry, Brooks.
Yeah.
It
Day
doesn't
one
matter because world-class players will never perform in MLS. Segway!
Segue to
Yes.
I don't know what, but no what.
Yay!
You know what? All right, so we are going to kind of skip ahead a little bit here. The Premier League does kick off this Friday, August 11th. Man City at Burnley, 3 p.m. kickoff. Listen, Man City, the league holders, champions, go to newly promoted Burnley. Day one is the only game on Friday. Then the rest of the fixtures are on Saturday, Sunday, with Man United playing on Monday. Got to be honest, boys. I can't wait. I love it. I absolutely love
Christmas morning.
Love it. It is.
It is
absolutely like
Christmas morning on
I
Friday.
got another like 2 weeks before I get excited.
Yeah, well, that's happening next. The following
Yay.
week, the Bundesliga kicks off.
Oh.
Bundesliga kicks off Friday, August 18th. Bayern Munich at Werder Bremen. Let's do some predictions here, boys.
Munich a lot. Bremen 0.
I was gonna go longer.
Moving on.
Gonna go
I mean,
longer
it's
term.
going to be really awesome to see. I'm actually super excited to see like Harry Kane's first match for Munich that day. It's
We
gonna
will
be, I think it's
get-
a hat trick that's going to happen.
Okay,
It's
top
gonna
7.
be-
We will get to that. We will get to that. in
Oh,
a
predictions
couple
for
of
top
minutes.
7?
Top 7.
We'll get to that in a minute there, Nate. All right, I do want to know. All right, why don't we do? Let's just kind of slowly walk this through. All right, boys. Who's winning the league this year? Does Arsenal put up a nice run like they did last year? Can Chelsea come back? Is it Man United with their new coach being in the second year here, or is it Man City taking it again? Why don't we head off to the boys' table here? All right. Well, Brooks, do you want to?
No, they can start if they want.
No, they want. You don't want to. You don't. No, Brooks. No, we want
Okay.
you. Who's winning the English Premier League this year?
Ah, geez, wow.
There's a 50 in it for you, Brooks.
Yeah. Where can you get to show me it first?
Show me the money.
Wow.
Show me the money.
Show me the money.
How starved has Brooks become?
I mean, it'd be really like too easy if I just said Man City was going to win it again for the 4th straight time, right? Because that'd be 4 in a
They
row.
are. I mean,
Would
it's
be
a
four
farms
And
in a
no
row.
one's done 4 in a row,
No
right?
one has ever done 4 in a
Well,
row.
now that it's a farms league.
No, United have done 3 in a row twice.
You know, I'm thinking, did Arsenal really get enough? Because the Havertz Jesus argument here of like, do they actually have a center forward that's going to score them goals? Because don't forget, Jesus is getting up there in age, and then Havertz, like Nate said, is more of a midfielder, maybe a tucked-in winger. So, you know, it's a tough one. Is Man United, do they have enough? They don't have their striker. You know, they're going to need guys that are going to score goals, right? So it's going to be interesting.
All right. So
Why are you looking at me
give
like
give
that?
me a team. Give me a team. Who wins it?
It's my Seagulls.
Oh, good God. Okay, onwards. You're picking Brighton. Brooks, you might have to write these down for us. Christ on a bike. You're picking Brighton and Hove Albion to win the league. All right.
No, I'm just
Hey,
kidding. I'm
Did
just
happen.
joking.
Leicester City did win the league several years ago.
I don't think they've added enough players though, Brighton, in the transfer window to make a difference.
And
That's
they're,
the thing.
and they're about to sell Matoma, by the way.
Yeah,
I
to
understand.
freaking Man City, which I'm upset about.
Right.
So yeah, he was a goal. No, I think I'll say Arsenal. I think they have it within them to. They knew they messed up last year.
Okay.
I bet they're going to add some players in the winter transfer window to make a difference. But if they can hold their own in the fall, get results, and stay up there in the top 3, I think
Okay.
they'll be good.
All right. So Arsenal to win the league for Brooks. Nate, next. Who wins the league?
Manchester United. Moving on.
Okay. Man United.
No, just kidding. Actually,
Oh,
it's going to be Man City.
yeah.
not because they're good, because you have a league where you allow cheaters and farmers to win. And to Danny.
Danny, who wins the league?
I'm gonna go Arsenal.
Arsenal, huh?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm gonna go
Possible
Arsenal.
for them to win. That was last year. Was their year.
Why are they going to win the league? Because they learned their lesson from last year. They've got more of a complete team this year, or because Man City lost so much that they've now.
I think it's a combination of the fact that City have lost players, they haven't replaced them. I think Mikel Arteta is a big. He's got that ability to
inspire people to
and
play.
to inspire, and and he'll be looking at last year and he'll learn from his mistakes. He's a wise and astute coach, and to be honest with you, I think he's obsessed with winning.
Yeah,
you can see that today.
See, I'm going to argue this. I think that City has the players. They're just going to start using them now. And that's why you didn't see him pick up addition midfielders. I think they're already there. I think they'll start using them now. And I think them picking up Gadival as a better center back is really going to solidify that back line and moving Stones into a permanent midfield.
Do you not think, though, that, I mean...
I don't, normally. Not my
No.
strong suit.
Do you not think, though, like after, even 99, right, when we won the treble in 99, there was a drop-off that year. There was almost an air of complacency that came in, and that happened several times over the course of when we did doubles and trebles and all that sort of stuff. And
They still found a way to win, though.
But when you...
but there was always a drop-off.
The thing of it, it's changed now, where now you have teams just dumping more money on it to buy more players to sustain what they already had, and that's been the problem with many leagues around the world, and sorry, I think England's right there now.
Essentially, soccer took, or whoever copied one another, what the NBA did or whatever the American team started to do, just to backload on players on your bench or whatever. Essentially, one's copying another one, and it's ridiculous at this point, to be honest with you, just holding players and, when they should be starting at other clubs, in my opinion.
So who is our host got?
I got Man City winning it. I think they will figure it out. I think it'll be down to the last two games. I think they will get a job done. They're just so strong. I really think Man City will bring someone else in or change something around. I really think it will be Man City 1, Arsenal 2 again.
Nope.
I think Arsenal are going to
Flip-flop.
be phenomenal. Nate, say again.
Number 2, Manchester United.
Okay.
I do
Man
think
City below them?
No, Man
Yeah,
City
you've got
number
Arsenal.
1.
Oh no, he had Man City. He's
Man City 1, United 2,
Arsenal 3?
So
Arsenal 3,
all right, Nate. Give me a top 7 then.
Aston Villa 4.
Ooh, I like that.
No, I just said that so you'd get off my shit for
for a couple of minutes.
Just throw that out.
Yeah.
Throw that out. No, I do think Villa might finish 5th or 6th. You know what I mean? I could see it. I think.
Are you going next for your top 7?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I'm gonna go City 1. I'm gonna go on a limb and say United 2.
Mm-hmm.
And prove upon what they did last year.
Mm-hmm.
Arsenal 3, Newcastle 4. 5.
Arsenal. Arsenal 3. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Newcastle 4.
Newcastle 4.
5th. Why not? We're going No, sorry, I can't. They lost too much. Yeah, my bad. I'm sorry. I deserve that. Probably a Chelsea 5th, maybe, and then a Villa 6 or flip flop there.
What about Tottenham?
Chelsea?
They're not gonna have Harry Kane, so it's gonna be a problem.
Yeah. All right.
Yeah,
We're gonna get to the Harry Kane bit.
Chelsea, a
in
top
minute.
7 team.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I agree with that.
I think
Yeah.
Pochettino coming in with enough
I agree
guys
with that.
and more
They
people
look
that they bought.
They've looked hot in preseason.
You know, he's gonna put it together.
Pochettino coming in is gonna change that club around. Yeah, absolutely.
And it's not like they didn't.
It doesn't matter who you
Added
bring in a
players.
coach when you have a shithole of an owner. So, it doesn't matter.
It
It doesn't matter because from the top down it trickles,
They
and
had
when it's bad at the
Abramovich for
top,
20
it sucks.
years.
Yeah.
But Abramovich was like, "Here's money. I'm harsh, but like he understood football." Butthead doesn't understand anything.
I like where you're going with that, but I think you're wrong. Before we go any further, I do want to give a big shout out to our partners who help here at We Are Soccer. A big thank you to We Are Soccer. Big thank you to Soccer World. If you are looking for any soccer gear needs, as the season is firing up here for professional and your youth player, head to Soccer World. 3 Metro Detroit locations and soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Big thank you to Next Level Training. If your child needs some extra training on top of their season starting here, Next Level Training, hit them up. Trust me, some of the best trainers in the country, not just here in Michigan. Big thank you to Dog and Pony Show Brewing. We are again enjoying delicious Dog and Pony Show beer. I think this is the Colonel IPA.
I'm enjoying nothing anymore.
Yeah,
because
yours
it's
looks like
empty.
it's finished. Sorry there,
Yeah.
Nate. You finished it too quick. Big thank you to the Michigan Jags. Wonderful club. My kids play for it. Nate's kids play for the Michigan
And I
Jags.
work there.
And you work there. Great.
Yeah.
Awesome. Thank you to the Michigan Jags. Appreciate you guys supporting us here at We Are Soccer. All right, Danny. Let's give your top 7, my friends. I'm interested to see from the top down where you've got your club finishing, and if you've got a Spurs or a Villa or a Chelsea in there.
I do. I've got Arsenal finishing 1,
Okay.
United finishing 2.
Okay.
Yeah.
Wow.
Woo!
You've got
Yeah, let's go.
got United beating out Man City essentially.
I've never seen anyone so happy for second
Yeah.
place.
Yeah.
I don't care.
Second place is the first loser.
I'm just happy that this good-looking
Firing
man,
shots over there, Brooks.
yeah.
I had nothing to do with
This
that.
table makes me feel a little bigger.
It's had nothing to do with
Makes you
that.
look
Wait
big.
until you see.
Yeah.
Wait until you see the rest.
I
of it.
just was admiring all of Danny's like plaques and awards and for being a smart coach and the fact that like
That he
I
picked
said
United to
something.
finish second.
and then he was like Nate. What I heard is you heard United finish second. What I heard was Nate. I value you and your brain as a soccer person, and I concur.
I don't know where this man came
That's
from.
what
or
I
how he
heard.
landed
That's
in
what
this
I heard.
spot, but here we are.
Aliens are real. Anyways, that's
One.
All right, Danny. So we got
Arsenal
1,
United,
Arsenal United, okay.
City,
City 3, yep.
Liverpool,
Liverpool 4, yep.
Chelsea 5,
Yep.
Villa 6,
Yep.
and then I can't decide between Spurs or Brighton for 7.
I'll make that easy for you. It's going to be Spurs. Spurs will figure it out.
Wow.
They will figure it out. They will buy
You have
some
little
players.
No
Over
Newcastle
here.
for me.
where are they
That
gonna,
is very interesting.
No
that
Newcastle for me.
Newcastle.
The only reason I say that is because I think that just based off of experience
Yep.
and knowing the league and knowing the competitions that we play in from
Yep.
August to Christmas, with the Champions League running all the way into December,
Yeah.
it's very, very difficult to manage
Yep.
that Saturday, Wednesday schedule, right? And I think that I don't think he's got the squad depth to deal with it,
Yep.
and I think they'll have dropped off by
I-
December.
I 100% agree, and I do think that Eddie Howe hasn't had that experience of being in the Moose Cup, being in the FA Cup, being in the league, and being in the Champions League. That is competitions that he is probably going to go all out for and try to win trophy this year. And I 100% agree with you, Danny, there. And I think, and I hate to say it again, like as I keep using it, but I think Unai Emery, who has been in these competitions in 2 different countries, has prepared for it. Because the amount of players that Villa have gone out and bought this year, a lot of midfielders, extra backup center backs, and an extra forward, he knows what he's doing. Danny, I think you're spot on with that. I got to be honest, I think Newcastle could sneak into that 7th position, but it'll be tight for them.
Yeah, no,
So
that's
I love that thinking.
It's one of the reasons why I put Villa so high at 6, because he did it at Arsenal, did it at Villarreal.
Yep.
You know, I think he's a fantastic manager. You know, I mean, it just depends on how Chelsea gel together. It could be 5. I mean, it could be 5. And my bottom 3, when we get to it, is interesting as well, because I've got theology around that as well.
Oh, I'm interested in the bottom 3. Very interested in who's getting relegated this year. All right, so I guess now is
Well,
my
I don't
turn.
get to choose?
No, you don't. You don't. No, I'm just kidding. You want to go?
Yeah.
You had your moment.
know what?
should have started.
What
do you mean?
You should be kicked
started with
off
you.
for saying Brighton are going to finish first.
I told you I was joking.
All right, cool. All right, go for it. Who we got then?
Arsenal.
You got Arsenal winning.
Yeah.
Okay.
Man City.
Man City.
Newcastle.
Well, okay.
Man United.
Okay.
Liverpool.
Okay.
Brighton.
Okay.
Villa.
All right.
We need to write these down somewhere.
I just wrote mine down.
Oh boy.
Yeah, everyone should write theirs down, and we should keep them in one of the drawers here. So when the season ends.
Close them in an envelope.
One of the items we are going to have coming up very soon.
Can we
boys.
put him behind one of those bricks I have? Take one out and,
Exactly.
there you go.
Hang
Yeah.
it on
Take
the brick.
out.
Yeah.
We are going to have a bet board. So if anybody feels, if we have two people who feel strongly about something that are completely opposite, we're going to make bets. We'll call it Dog and Pony Show six-pack bet. Six-pack bet. Say that twice.
By the way, we have a couple comments here. Luke Zagorski says, by the way, if Villa finished top 4 this year, I will eat my own bottom.
Bottom what? Like his
Fucking hell! Someone write that down. Get that. Get that screenshotted.
Yes. And then Victor's like, rather be 3rd place than 2nd place.
what?
And
I like it,
Don
Victor.
has put in the thing, inner annoying is up 1-0, and Messi.
Oh no, I got some comments on
Messi
that.
gets it done again.
No, I think honestly, I'm looking at this. I think this league's cup's rigged.
Fair enough. I could agree with you.
Oh, I'm sorry, Craig. Let me ask you a question. If your forward is standing offside right in front of the goalkeeper, is that
Are you watching the game?
Mhm.
Okay.
and that wasn't Messi? Is that not obstruction? Is that not being involved?
Yes.
Well, wow, they didn't call him offside and allowed Messi's goal from outside the 18. And then they somehow called an offside on FC Dallas, and I'm still confused on how they got that.
You know what? When United go through and they score a goal like similar to the
Hey.
one that Rashford scored
Hey,
last year, and
watch
everybody
it.
said it was offside, but nobody called it, and everybody said, "Well, this could
Maybe
be
I'm
rigged
wrong.
to get United into the top 4."
Maybe I'm
and
wrong.
we went nuts.
Maybe I'm wrong. You watch it and you tell me. A little odd. I don't really care. My team is out. I don't really give a shit. Win the league's cup. Who cares? I don't care. You're not playing Cincinnati.
I can't
They're
wait
out.
until we get to the Messi.
Watch it.
I can't wait until
The
we get to
Mexican
the-
teams to bring their best players anyways, so
But-
it doesn't really matter.
But watch it.
Just saying.
Did you just say
Do you
that
think
the
any
team-
Mexican
Yeah.
team is going to be able to deal with Lionel Messi?
It's the off season for them, so they're not bringing everyone.
It's
Before their season
they
starts.
played 3 games before.
Visas come
they
into
came
play
here.
because some may not be able to travel if they don't want to pay and get visas. Also, with there's a lot of factors in that the Liga MX teams did not bring all their best players, and that's the guys that I've talked to in the professional game have voiced all those things that they have not brought their best players because of those concerns.
He's right. Actually, there's this has nothing to do. Shelve that. There's strong shelve any. This has nothing to do with Messi. Shelve it. Doesn't matter.
Correct.
There's been strong criticism from the Liga Mexi,
Liga MX.
yeah, side that they're absolutely pissed off about this whole tournament. The
Mhm.
travel
Weird they signed up for it though, and
the
they were very
travel they
interested
have to
for it.
do because they have to travel immense miles compared to.
They do know this has been set up for over a year, right?
I'm
Did they just
telling you.
did they
you're-
just
you're-
show up and write their notes
Why
down before?
I have no opinion. I am repeating what I
I get
read.
it.
I'm sure the TV money that they get is going to soften the blow.
Yeah, exactly.
So
It's really not that much. They said
not
they
that
said
much.
they'd actually make more if they played some teams from South America than they would
so
in
yeah,
this.
it's been a big bust for the Mexican teams. They're unhappy.
I think this has kind of been an epic failure for MLS.
for the travel, for everything you just wrote.
Yep.
And yeah, there's huge. They're pissed off.
Yeah.
They're not
And they didn't get to play any home matches, which I thought they
happy.
were.
Zero.
Exactly.
yeah.
I thought they were going to play some home matches
Well,
because
that-
maybe that would have helped.
And that's what made their travel
again-
so much difficult.
But again, with MLS teams, same thing. Visas, getting players over that can travel over to Mexico, that's a problem because you got to apply for those, and those cost money, travel, and everything else. So for both sides, it's an issue crossing the border.
And this affects the Messi is the greatest player ever argument.
We
now?
said
We didn't say
shelve
that.
We said
So
put
why-
it
This
what
is
are we
the
talking about?
competition in general,
What are we talking about? We
just
said-
Leagues Cup.
started with someone was offsides and it's rigged, and now we're talking
Well,
about the Mexican.
that you
team.
can watch for yourself, and you tell me.
I-
You tell me a guy
trust me-
standing right in front of a
trust me,
goalkeeper.
We saw last year several of these.
What does
where,
that have to? What does that have to do with anything? I'm talking about this game, that game right there.
Again, we saw several of the same thing last year in all the leagues, and it was
Okay.
ruled onside, offside. It depends on the referee and the VAR. It's was he in the play? I don't know. I haven't seen it yet. We'll see.
Go look at it yourself and make your own decision. I don't really care.
It's all
In
over.
the
On,
middle of running a show.
it's all
so maybe-
on X, as they call it now, not Twitter.
Seems a little odd. Seems a little odd to me. Seems a little odd, a tournament invested having a team go forward, Seems a little odd.
So
I mean, why do you think they
Odd.
brought Messi in now so he can look good?
Seems a little odd.
you think they brought Messi in now to play against the Mexican teams just so he can look good?
Yeah, that's why they brought him in now. It's
you
like,
don't think he would look?
we're gonna bring him in for teams that haven't even started their season yet. They haven't brought all their players over.
They were.
If they had brought all their players over, I think Messi would pick up a lot more knocks. Than
And
he
they
would have
intentionally
especially
knocked
against
out-
Cruz Azul.
Yeah, and they intentionally knocked out FC Cincinnati out of this tournament, so we wouldn't have to play them.
Yes.
Best team in the
I
world.
honestly
honestly can't believe the comments about Messi. Like, Messi's been kicked for his entire career, and he's kept coming back every game.
He hasn't been kicked by his guys he plays in Copa America because they don't play over there.
Hey, all I gotta say is, Brooks, did you see that photo?
He plays in South America for Argentina against Mexico.
Yeah,
all
but he
the
doesn't
time.
play against all those guys in Europe because they couldn't care because they play in UEFA, so it's totally different.
Hold on a
Brooks-
second. Did he
Brooks,
not
hold-
just have a 15-year career in Europe?
Yeah.
Where he dominated.
Dominated completely. Seven
Ballon
Ballon
d'Ors.
d'Or winner.
It's a lot different with South
It's a
American
popularity
players.
contest. He won 7 popularity contests. We all know Lewandowski should have won it 2 years ago.
He
and-
should have. Lewandowski
Thank
should
you.
have won. Yeah.
So, hey, did you see that picture of the ref winking at Messi when
I
he
did.
was? Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Mhm.
You know what I'm saying?
Yes.
Hey,
We're just
it's
saying
okay.
it. We're putting facts
Is
out.
it just me?
It's okay. Sports are never rigged,
Or-
right, Craig? Sports
or is-
never rigged.
or
Sports
is-
never rigged.
Is everybody else wondering what
It's cool.
Nate and Brooks are smoking?
It's cool.
that
Sports
they
are never
think-
rigged. Always on the up and up.
You boys do that. You boys do know that he is South American, right? He is born in South America.
How many of
hold
us
on,
South
there.
American?
Hold on. I watched a podcast yesterday where they said he's now the captain of the United States. Are you telling me they're wrong? Shit.
Oh my god. Oh my god. This
They
conversation
said-
just ruined the
they
entire
said
legitimacy of our show.
Messi is the captain. I can't wait for him to play for a national team. Where's he going to go for Greg Bullard? It's going to be good, right?
He'll come off the bench because it's Greg Berhalter.
It's awesome.
It definitely bothers the piss out of me that you think he is not the greatest player ever and that he will
I
struggle.
am not denying that he's
that
not
he
the
will
greatest player
struggle
ever.
in the MLS.
He will when
He is yet to score a goal in the MLS, Craig.
correct.
He just scored again tonight.
League's Cup.
It's
Doesn't
Leagues Cup.
matter.
League's Cup.
So we're taking away all the goals that
Leagues
Harry
Cup.
Kane, Lewandowski, Ronaldo have scored in.
They've
other
never scored in the
competitions?
MLS either.
And also, wait until he has the full year of the season when everyone's prepped for that team and they
Yeah.
know how they've been playing.
Yeah.
And then let's see
Oh, yeah,
next year. And
oh,
then
you-
when teams sit in and counter, let's see how they break that down.
Yeah,
Oh my god, like he's never seen that.
I
He
think
has never
The
seen
Portland
that.
Timbers have been great at that.
He
The
is-
whole entire
Yeah.
time they've been in MLS is being a counterattacking team and giving everyone
I can-
problems.
I can
because
just-
this league is so open, that's why it's an advantage for
He has
Messi.
never played a counter-attacking team of trees.
Correct.
Danny, what were you gonna say?
What?
Or Lions.
I can just see Messi in the dressing room before the game, and the manager coming up to him and going, Lionel, they're gonna come after you today. They're gonna come after you, and he'd probably turn around and just go, "Just give me the ball."
Do you think he understands what they're saying? Oh, yeah, actually, they both speak.
He can speak a little English.
Lionel Messi is actually fearing playing against the Portland Timbers. He is a
It's
Not just the
goddamn
I do not want to
trees.
play
It is.
against the Portland Timbers.
Timber
the one
Joey
team in
has
the
a
world
saw,
that-
Craig. He has a chainsaw.
Yeah.
Come on now.
Here's a trivia question, Danny. How many English European teams, any team over the channel, have saws that go off in the middle of their matches?
I know.
Real ones. Chopping wood, bro.
Yeah.
Oh, good lord. All right, guys.
Welcome to America. Pew, pew.
We're going to take a quick break.
America.
Noises. And then Danny and I are going to kick the other two idiots off the show for thinking Messi will struggle here in America.
I never said struggle. I just said everything's rigged.
Okay, when I define struggle, I didn't say he wouldn't score goals, by the way. Everyone, including Scott, misinterprets that. So I
And
did
when I-
not say he would suck and he would never score. I
when-
say he will go through times when he's going to have a couple games where he may not look like he's going to be in the game much or do much. It's going to happen. Every player, it happens in their career.
I will tell
He's
you
not
right
going to
now,
keep doing this all the time.
every game he plays in, he looks like he's not involved. And then all of a sudden, boom.
There's
oh,
going to be
shit, scored a goal.
times when it's
How did he
he's
do-
just,
where did he
he will
come
go
from?
on a streak of 3-4 games when it's just going to look like, where has he been?
And
What's he doing?
factually speaking,
And then he'll go on a streak of 5 games and score goals like he's done.
Man, maybe.
and
I don't know.
factually
We'll see how the
speaking,
MLS teams play him next
I
year.
think he would
Forget
struggle
this year.
playing a Woods in Portland.
Yes.
Factually speaking.
Thank you, Nate.
And the Dutch Lions.
All right, we
in
are
Cincy.
going to take
Eat
a
'em.
quick break,
Yes.
and thank you again to Soccer World, Next Level Training, Dog and Pony Show Brewing, and the Michigan Jaguars. Stick with us; we'll be right back, and there will be more just craziness, as you can see, boys and girls. We'll be right back.
Change tempo, yes, yes, drop out, good. Yes, touch play, right foot, yes. Scan, scan, good. Touch in, play, drop your hip, right, yes, good scan. Yes. Jay, well done. Good side on touch. Play, see it, see it, see it, yes.
All right, Brooks, we're at our favorite store, Soccer World in Rochester. We're just gonna do some light shopping.
Okay.
Nothing big. Ooh, pretty colors. Oh, and one of these too?
Ooh, Germany. Nate would like this.
Hey, Brooks, look at all these. Look what I got.
South America. Ooh. Wow, that's not MLS. Cool.
Socks? No.
Ooh, a ball pump.
Next to line.
Sir, you're next.
Right. That's a mannequin. You know that.
Huh? Oh,
Mannequin.
oh. Sorry, sir.
Hug, what are you doing?
Nothing.
Huh?
was fun. We have not finished that segment. We still need to go a little deeper. I believe the boys gave their top 7. I have not given mine. Here is my top 7 for the EPL. I got Man City winning it. I got Arsenal finishing second. As I said, unpopular opinion, I think Liverpool will get into third. I think Liverpool get there to third. I think United finish fourth. I think Villa get to fifth. Chelsea 6th. And Spurs get to 7. Sorry, Brooks. No room for your Seagulls. I think this year is going to be a down year for them. I think the many competitions that they are in, the lack of transfers coming in is going to hurt them. And I think one of their best players, Matoma, is on his way out. Yeah, it's going to be a year where they make some money, but don't do very well. Sorry, Brighton.
The Brighton effect. I don't know. We all read the article. They're very good at finding those unknown players and doing well. So we'll see.
I agree. We shall see how they do this year.
Yes.
All right, boys. I do want to, before we head off and away from the EPL, which again starts this Friday. It is Man City, the champions, visiting newly promoted Burnley, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time kickoff. Before we head off and away from the EPL, I do want to know who gets relegated. Before I do tell everybody, though, please, guys, hey, in the comments, put your top 7. You know what? If you don't even want to do 7, do top 4. Who's getting into the Champions League spots? Who is it? Do Villa creep in? Does Spurs creep in? Chelsea, are they back? Pochettino, is he turning that club around this year? We shall. I'd like to know your thoughts there. All right, boys. Bottom 3. Who's getting relegated? Nate, would you like to start with that relegation? Who you picking to get relegated, my friend?
Manchester City.
No,
No, nobody. I mean, I guess it's going to be hope. Because I think you can only flirt with disaster for so long before it happens.
Ooh, you're going along my road there, my friend. Yep.
So no specific order. The first one I'm going to say right off the bat, Everton. Again, you can't kiss death so much time and then almost dodge a bullet and not then somehow reap that what is coming to you. Number 2 is I'm going to go probably Nottingham Forest. And then number 3, I'm going to go Burnley.
Okay, interesting. Interesting, yeah. All right, Danny, who's getting relegated for you this year?
I'm going to go straight up, straight down, Luton.
Yep.
Luton are going down. I'm going to go straight up, straight down, Sheffield United.
Yep.
And the surprise one is West Ham.
Interesting.
Wow.
Going West Ham because
Interesting. Okay, yeah.
Because of their Conference League win.
Yep.
Going into the Europa League, playing Thursday, Sunday. Yeah. And with Moyes, sold Declan Rice. Now they sold Scamacca today for 32 million euros.
Yep.
Hasn't really replaced him. Hasn't really strengthened the squad.
Yep. Again, they didn't strengthen their squad again.
Yeah.
This is like the second year in a row they haven't done this properly.
Yeah, and the league position last year wasn't great.
It was terrible.
So I think West Ham are going.
So I'm going to make a comment about Luton, and I'm going to make a comment about Sheffield. First thing, I think Luton stays up. Barely stays up, squeaks out of it. And I think that playing in that home field is going to be such a mind screw for many, many teams that it's going to carry them forward. And I think they squeak out a point maybe or two, just not comfortably at all, but just enough to get over. And Sheffield United, they happen to be a really good team because they only lost to Stuttgart 0-3 in the test match.
Austin Trusty's there, by the way. So the American left center back. So
wait, don't segue.
An interesting fee there, by the way.
Wait, hold on,
we'll get
don't
to that in a
segue.
minute.
They lost to Stuttgart 0-3. So actually, probably.
Why don't you just say 3-0 and be cool like the rest of us?
Because
I was
3-0.
0-3. What the hell is that? Is that some American thing?
No.
wait,
Or is that German thing?
I think that's a Nate.
The
thing.
one that
Nate
argues
thing.
that friendlies don't mean anything.
They were home field. No, this one meant everything in the world.
All right, hold on. All right, we do have to move on. All right, Brooks, who's your bottom 3 getting relegated?
Oh, the 3 Bs: Bournemouth, Brentford, and Burnley.
Brentford, Brentford, and Burnley.
Yeah.
I've actually got Brentford as an outside chance of making Europe.
Mm.
Yeah. Okay, interesting. We got to write these down, by the way. Someone was going to clip this, and
I
we'll put
threw
it in.
I threw the dart at the board on the 1 for
I
Brentford.
can
so.
see this.
you know.
Okay. All right, I'll give you my bottom 3. Danny, I'm going to agree with 2 of yours. Straight up, straight back down, Luton.
Yeah.
Just don't see it happening. It is just the Premier League is an absolute beast. Goodbye. And I'm going to say the same for Sheffield United. Straight up, straight back down. See you later. And then I'm going to agree with Nate. And this,
What?
I'm going to agree with Nate on his.
Wait, what?
And it is going to be an absolute club killer if it actually happens. Everton. I think Everton, as Nate said, they have flirted with death so many times. Never been relegated out of the top league.
Yeah.
This year, I think it happens. And here's the thing. They've put a ton of money into a new stadium. This will kill them. This could actually send their club
Like
with a
bankrupt them?
massive new stadium
Yeah.
down the ranks. This could be Sunderland-esque, as we saw several years ago, right?
Oh, that's far.
Yeah, it could happen. Just an FYI, the championship did kick off this past weekend. Leeds, hello, welcome back to the championship. Down 2-0 to Cardiff City. Cardiff City unfortunately could not hold on to that lead, and they ended up drawing 2-2 at Elland Road. The championship is the hardest league in the world to get out of. I would put a championship team against any team in the world and say, good luck with that. It is a, whew. As Brooks said about Luton, or Nate said about Luton, no, it was Nate, said going to Luton Town is a bit of a mind fuck.
You want me to read the scores from the EFL?
Playing in the EFL is a mind fuck.
Do you want me to read the scores quickly?
Yeah, if you could quickly.
Yeah,
that'd be
very
great.
quickly. Southampton beating Sheffield Wednesday 2-1. Norwich beating Hull City 2-1. Plymouth Argyle 3-1 against Huddersfield. Bristol City and Preston 1-1 draw. Millwall beating Middlesbrough.
Middlesbrough, as he calls it.
Middlesbrough. That's easy. Middlesbrough 1-0 Millwall. Stoke City beating Rotherham. Thank you. I'm learning things. Swansea and Birmingham tying 1-1. Blackburn, I know you. Blackburn Rovers beating West Brom 2-1. Watford 4-0 over QPR. Leicester City over Coventry 2-1. Haji Wright going to Coventry, so they suck. So, there you go. Leeds tying 2-2, as you mentioned, for Cardiff. And Ipswich Town beating Sunderland 2-1.
Interesting. I do want to tell you that it's Norwich.
Yes.
Norwich.
I said that.
Norwich.
Norwich.
What itches?
Norwich.
What do you got?
Norwich.
That itches?
Right.
Okay.
All right, Danny, a quick question actually, as he's reading off scores. Do you remember? I cannot remember the guy's name, but I used, in the '90s when I was living here in America, my dad used to put it on the radio, and they read off the scores, and it was Leeds United 2, Cardiff
Yes,
City.
It's a video printer.
2.
So
Yes,
it's a video printer. So like Saturday afternoon, like when the games, games were done at 5 o'clock or something like that, you would be sat at home and it'd be on like BBC and stuff, and then they come up on the video printer, and it was so funny because it was like talking to Nate last week about his professor in college. It was Manchester United 1.
Yep.
Liverpool 0.
Love that.
And it
Like,
was just,
oh,
it was like the whole. We went through the whole league that way.
Sounds like when you go to the stadium when they announced who scored or whatever. That's what the announcers sound like.
Right.
Yeah.
But it was, I absolutely loved it.
I loved it.
Still to this
I loved
day.
it actually when they got down to the lower leagues, right? And the names get a little bit different. Like Halifax Town 6, Swansea City 0. It was brilliant the way they went down.
Braintree United 2,
Right, yeah.
Halifax United 1. Brilliant. Absolutely love it. All right, boys, lots to get to here. I do want to quickly get listen.
Bundesliga?
We've talked about it. We'll get to Bundesliga in a minute. We'll finish up with the Premiership here, which will be the tie-in to the Bundesliga. Can you see where I'm going there? Harry Kane, last bid put in by Bayern Munich. Bayern Munich. Hold on, Nate. I want your thoughts first on this. Jump the gun. All right, so Bayern Munich came back on Thursday night, Friday morning, and said, we're putting our best and final bid in, 100 million euros. Tottenham, give us an answer by midnight on Friday. And what did Daniel Levy do? Oh, he flew off on a vacation. He's in Miami, actually, probably watching Lionel Messi because he's the greatest player in the world. Listen, Nate, your thoughts when a German, we'll call it company, whatever you want to say, German person says, this is my biggest, my best, my final offer, give me an answer, and then there's no answer that comes back. Are they going to, is that it? They're done? Is Bayern going to pull out and be, nah, we're moving on?
It'll
What are
be
your thoughts?
interesting because Levy was told to sort it out. It hasn't been sorted out.
Not at all, yeah.
Kane has not extended anything. Tottenham haven't rejected anything, and Munich has yet to pull back the offer. I don't know.
So what
there's-
happens next?
I wait and see. But to me, I've never seen Munich go in 3 consecutive times on a player that didn't inevitably sign for him.
Yeah.
I would challenge who was it? Maybe my memory just isn't that good. But what player did they go in for 3 times and didn't eventually get? And I don't know.
I've never seen it.
So
I
there's
don't know if I can Google that one.
Maybe.
good luck.
Maybe.
Maybe.
Maybe. Kane doesn't want to go. And I've been saying this for months.
But that would go against what was actually said by the Germans, who said the deal is already laid out and agreed upon. That personal terms are already agreed upon. That's actually even reported by that Fabrizio Romano is saying that the personal terms are.
But that isn't actually coming from the player, though, is it?
No, player's not saying anything. He didn't say it wasn't or was, did he? So player's not saying anything.
Tottenham have never said they want to sell.
Tottenham have said sort it out, and they have been able to sort it out. We know that for a fact.
No, Tottenham's owner said sort it out.
And they have been able to sort it out. Kane has not said anything. Tottenham has offered him, what, $500,000 a
Yeah,
month?
$500,000 a week.
Oh, $500,000 a week. He never signed. So that's weird. And according to the Germans and other outside sources, the deal is already agreed upon. Personal terms are already agreed upon between Kane and Munich.
Oh.
There has been private conversations.
It's
between
interesting. I
Tottenham
want to
and
know.
So Tottenham, even though apparently they're not interested in selling, are still entertaining conversations, which doesn't sound like someone who's
My
not
main question to you is:
I still think
the
2-year
German
deal.
club went to them and said, "This is our final offer. Give us an answer." And Daniel Levy said nothing, and he walked away.
Mhm.
So is the German club going to go back again, or are they just going to say, "This is done. We start in 2 weeks. We're out. Let's move on."
Their transfer window doesn't close till the end of August.
No, I
believe, like
agree.
everyone
But
else.
the more this drags on, the worse it looks for Bayern, right?
Tottenham are
not
not,
if they end up with the player that they wanted at the end.
Tottenham are not going to sell their main striker 5-6 days before the season starts.
So they're going to lose him for free in the summer?
We don't know that yet.
They're going to.
Didn't the owner of Spurs that is currently sitting in a jail cell in New York, didn't he turn around and say, sort the contract situation out? So they have a year to sort that out, or they have 6 months to sort that out until he can start pre-contractual agreements in January with other clubs.
Yep.
So you think Harry Kane's going to re-sign up for Tottenham to
Why not?
continue?
I think
Continue
this has
that way.
happened before.
Why not?
He's done it twice before, so why not a third time?
Because I think there's better teams to leave for on the free.
Well, yeah. I mean, right now, he's holding all the cards to his chest,
Yeah.
isn't he, Harry Kane? I mean, he could, he's brought in. Obviously, they brought in a new manager. See how things go. Obviously, preseason hasn't gone too well. I mean, today they played, Shakhtar Donetsk and give him a right good slapping. So, that went well for him. But
The powerhouse Shakhtar.
so, if I'm Harry Kane, I'm in the best possible position, really, to be honest with you. I'm sitting on a good contract. I'm going into my last year. I'll wait, see what this manager does over the next 5-6 months. And if I decide to stay at Tottenham, then I'll sign a deal before I enter pre-contract agreements. But if he hasn't signed anything by January, he's leaving on a free.
And if you're Tottenham, you're okay with that? You're okay losing someone absolutely for free instead of selling?
I don't think they've got any choice.
Yeah, they could sell him.
And by who? And please don't say that second-rate striker in Germany again.
One of
better
the
than-
strikers
it's
we
better
didn't
than
mention
nothing.
last week was Vlahovic from Juventus that everybody was so high on 2 or 3 months ago, and now they're down on. I don't understand
That's the
why.
other one.
Didn't
Vlahovic
Conte
is
want him
there.
when he was coaching
Yeah,
Tottenham?
Vlahovic has done very well and was a top striker in Serie A last year, and everybody went down on him for some reason and just said, nah, his stock is down. I don't understand, but that is an option. But you're right. Who are they going to buy? Tottenham I think at this point, Tottenham are willing to let him walk away for free. and not look like the guys who sold one of the best players ever, and not take a massive hit from their fans.
You just hit the nail on the head right there with that last statement. He is Lewandowski good.
Mhm.
I mean, he is world class.
So what makes you think the player doesn't want to go?
I think the player. I don't think it doesn't
When did
matter.
this? Can I ask you a question? When did this interest start with Bayern?
When Bayern approached him, actually, it goes back like 2 years.
Okay, so if he really wanted to go 2 years ago, why didn't he go 2 years ago in his prime?
I think they tried last summer and just weren't able to do it.
Okay, so let's say, why didn't he go 12 months ago? Because Tottenham were really struggling 12 months ago.
Why did he agree to personal terms with them?
That
We don't know that.
That's
We're
That's-
counting on the fact that the German club and spokesperson for the club has indicated that they've agreed personal terms with Harry Kane, which we all know is a bunch of shit. Just because Fabrizio Romano says it's true doesn't mean it's true.
I mean, anything's possible. I've never seen a German club absolutely come out publicly and say something that was absolutely untrue. It's just not in their nature.
They are pretty straight shooters, to be honest
Straight
with
shooters.
you. They don't BS. Like they don't play that
And
the game.
it wasn't like even, hey, we have a deal worked out. It's we have a deal worked out, and if their camp is not, being truthful and not being dishonest, so they've like publicly called them out, and they never said anything.
Mhm.
They never came back and said, I don't know what these guys are talking about. So they're saying, hey, we like working with them. We've been working with the camp, the Harry Kane camp now, and if they're true to their word, he'll be a Munich player that Tottenham needs to let it go. I believe was roughly the exact.
If he really
So why didn't the Kane camp go? I don't know what these guys are talking about.
Because
We never
get
talked
them
to 'em.
more money. They can get
Get
them more money.
who?
They don't have to say. They don't have to deny or approve it. They just say, maybe you know what? Why don't we let Tottenham believe this, and then they'll come back to offer us more money.
Believe what? They already offered him $500,000 a week.
That was after.
Are they offering him any more since
That
then?
that was after the rumor came out that he'd signed with Bayern Munich. So maybe they were only willing to offer 4. We don't know. Listen, there's a lot of things we don't know about this transfer. It just keeps dragging on every week. It seems like every summer we're talking about this stuff. We just don't know. It is interesting that they put in their best and final offer, and Tottenham still have said nothing. And the more it goes on, the longer it goes, the more I'm inclined to say he's not going anywhere. And then he'll either, in the next 6 months, as Danny said, sign a new contract with Tottenham, or after 6 months, he'll not sign anything, and then 12 months from now be flying off to wherever he wants to play. So that'll be interesting. Listen,
All right, we've killed this topic just like the Messi
I was
stuff.
about to say, I
so-
think we've beaten this one to
Yeah.
death. It's a dead horse.
Yeah.
All right, boys and girls, the Bundesliga, as we said, does kick off in 2 weeks, August 18th. Friday, August 18th, Bayern Munich at Werder Bremen. Predictions for top 4 from you folks.
So-
Nate, would you
so
like to lead us off on
I'll
that?
lead you off, but let me do a 2-minute just to get everyone calibrated so you guys know what the hell's going on. So last year, Munich was number 1, was tied for goals against Dortmund. Leipzig was number 2. Union had a fantasy year, finishing 4th in the Champions League. And then Freiburg, Leverkusen, and Frankfurt rounded out your top 7. So if you're asking, just so we're all on the same page, if you're asking me top 4, top to bottom,
Mhm.
or actually bottom to top, what do you want me to do?
Do who wins first? Go 1, 2, 3, 4.
Yeah.
If Munich does not sign a new striker, don't get your panties in a bunch. I'm not signing Kane. I said if they don't sign a new striker, they will not win the league this year. And I'm going to say,
Wow. They've won 11 years in a row, correct?
Yep.
And 12 out of the last
You
13.
lost Sade Mane.
Yep. That project did not work out. That little experiment did not work at
And
all.
the coach who wanted him is no longer there.
Yep.
And, actually, Mane is saying there could have been a little bit of racial abuse, but, there's hearsay.
In
that-
Germany?
Yeah.
No.
According to his agent, they said the reason why he didn't get along with players or some players didn't like him is because they were paying an African player a very high, one of the highest salaries in Munich.
Interesting.
So-
anyway, all right. So if they don't,
I think it's
get
going to
a
be Dortmund
striker,
number 1.
you think Dortmund are going to win it?
Yep.
Dortmund take the league,
Mhm.
and Bayern finish.
Now Bayern finished number 2.
Okay.
And yeah, Dortmund lost a Jude Bellingham,
One Jude Bellingham.
but they didn't lose anyone in the defensive market. They didn't lose anyone in the midfield market, and they essentially signed Sabitzer and Namicha, who aren't going to be as good as Jude, but if they play a little different, and with all their full attacking team now coming into health room, because remember, Sebastian Haller didn't play half that year, I think they're going to be a hell of a force to go against. And again, they tied last year in points, lost on goal differential, and I think a full season with all their healthy strikers pushes them over that line there.
Okay.
Number 2, as I said, Muchen, because you don't have a forward. Good luck with that. Number 3, I'm going to go Leverkusen. Xavi Alonso, who jumped in October and did a lot of cool stuff.
Who actually just today or yesterday, excuse me, beat West Ham 4-0.
And extended his contract. He's picking that Simon Xhaka, or no, they have Xhaka from their team. Sorry, he was on Leipzig.
Granted.
And then they have Jonas Hoffman, who's a solid midfielder as well. So they got some new players, and they should be decent at 3rd. And number 4th, I will say Leipzig probably will be sitting there at 4th because they signed a lot of. They lost 3 good midfielders, but they have got like 5 different signings that all could be impact.
All right. Top 4, good there. Danny, you want to give your top 4 for the German Bundesliga?
I will.
Stuttgart number 1.
No.
They beat a Sheffield United. They got swords. Stabby.
Dortmund, number 1.
You got Dortmund winning as well.
Oh!
My, oh my. Okay.
All I heard was, Nate, with all my coaching degrees and licenses, my tattoos and good looks concur with your decision.
Dortmund. I'm going to go Dortmund. Interestingly enough, I'm going to go with Leipzig as 2.
Oh,
Wow.
And then, even more interestingly enough, I'm going to go with Leverkusen as 3.
Whoa.
And Munich as 4.
Wow.
Wow.
All right.
So Munich's just winning the Champions League this year.
Wow.
On to Brooks.
Wow.
I think the forward situation is
that's a problem.
Is problematic.
Yeah.
I really do.
Yeah, I absolutely think it is, but they are stacked in other areas.
True.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Well, I like that. All right, Brooks, what you got?
I will also go Dortmund for 1.
Okay.
Man, number 2. I will say Leverkusen for 2.
Okay, so you got Dortmund 1, Leverkusen 2.
Yes.
Okay.
Leipzig 3, Munich 4.
Okay. All right. You and Danny are gonna go and have some beers tonight and talk about that. That's interesting. All right. Very interesting. I am gonna say that all of you are wrong, and Bayern Munich will win
Shocker.
this league. Bayern Munich are going to get the job done, as they always have. 11 in a row, 12 out of the last 13. They have won it. They'll do it again. Dortmund do not even finish 2nd. Dortmund finished 4th.
Wow.
I think Leverkusen finished 2nd, and I think Eintracht Frankfurt finished 3rd.
Well, you at least agree with me that Leverkusen will finish 2nd, so at least we're on the same page there.
Same page there. Bayern run away with it. They do what they normally do. But yeah,
Didn't Frankfurt sell a lot of players this year?
sure they did. But guess what? Eintracht Frankfurt know what they're doing. Watch the documentary on them.
They are very good. They are very good. I mean,
makes me an expert.
Paxton Aronson plays for Frankfurt as well, so
Well,
he may be playing this year.
I will
plays for the
say
second team.
Frankfurt does have a very systematic approach to playing, and they absolutely will sell a lot of players, and those players will go off and do about jack diddly for other teams and actually not be very good.
Yep.
And then they'll plug in that new player who they see fit in their system, and
Yeah.
off and running they are, like they haven't even skipped a beat.
Yep.
Very good at it.
It's what Frankfurt do. They are actually very good at that. All right, well, that brings us to the end of the Bundesliga top 4. Again, they kick off in 2 weeks. I'm sure next week we will get into it a little bit more. Hopefully at that point, moves have been made. Maybe Bayern Munich, maybe they will have their star forward in place. We will wait and see. Next week, this week, Friday, August 11th, La Liga kicks off.
Yes.
Almeria versus Rayo Vallecano and Sevilla versus Valencia are the first games on Friday. Real Madrid kick off on Saturday against Athletic Club, and Barcelona kick off against Getafe. All right, listen.
We're doing standings for this one too.
Nope. Nope. All we're going to do for La Liga is who wins the league.
Really?
Yep. Nope. Who wins the league,
I have
boys?
Easy.
top 3
Nope.
sounds
Simple.
fun.
Yep.
Easy.
You tell me. All right, we're going to go.
We're all
Danny-
gonna have the same answer.
No, we're not. There's 2 different teams that could win it.
Or Gaddafi.
Or look, Atletico Madrid.
Nope.
I think a top 3 sounds interesting if we
Nope.
write this down and then see who gets correct. I
Nope.
think we should continue with what we were doing with top 3 or top 4.
No one cares about the other teams in this league. They
I
only
do.
care about the top 2 teams.
I do.
You're a weirdo.
Why am I weirdo?
Because you're wearing a shirt that is not a soccer shirt to a soccer show as well.
Well, I feel like we're in something different because everyone's seen all the soccer shirts I
You
have.
guys should see what he's wearing below the desk. Oh, God. We're going to have to cover this desk up.
You mean Las Palmas isn't going to finish in 3rd?
I don't
or Real
care where they
Betis?
finish.
I
do not
think Real
care.
Betis has a chance of winning the league.
Yeah, Valencia does too, I think.
Hear me out.
Nope.
Yeah.
Danny,
Jerome Bettis was a running back. Betis goes with
Oh, God. This is what I have
Well,
to put up
Valencia's
with
got
every week.
bats too as their logo, so I think bats trump everything because of Batman.
You definitely need to take the soundboard back.
Yep, definitely
Yep,
need to take the
100%.
soundboard back.
You know what? Bats have COVID. Anyways, moving on.
Yep. All right, Danny.
That's why they're gonna
you're
win
starting us
La
off
Liga.
in La Liga. Who wins La Liga this year?
Madrid. Real Madrid.
Real Madrid.
Hands down.
Okay.
I'm going to make an even bolder statement, and we'll cut this out and we'll put it on our shorts. Real Madrid are going to win the Champions League too.
Okay.
Bold statement.
It is because Mbappe's going. 100%. He'll be signed before the window ends, and that front 6
Oh,
of Camavinga, Bellingham, Modric, Vinny Jr., Mbappe, and Rodrigo is the best front 6 in the world.
And then you throw Bellingham in there.
100%.
Yeah.
All right. If Kylian Mbappe doesn't go there, do Real Madrid still get it done?
Yes.
Yeah, can't argue with you. Listen, Real Madrid get it done for me as well. I think they've upgraded in the right places. They've brought in one of the best young midfielders in the world into an already stacked midfield. They are a solid team from front to back. I do not see them failing in any way, shape, or form this year. I think actually the front players of Barcelona is what's going to let them down. I think they get a little complacent under Xavi. They finish second. Barcelona finished second. Real Madrid won. If, as Danny predicts, the Kylian Mbappe gets to Real Madrid this year, this summer, at the end of this summer, Champions League as well. Right. Well done, Danny. All right, Nate. Who wins La Liga?
Real Madrid.
Yep. All right, 3 for 3.
Yeah, Real Madrid, Atletico Madrid, then Barcelona. That's my top 3.
I like it. All right. I'm all right with that. I mean, it's not
No one said anything about 3.
Yeah.
Well, I break the rules,
Yeah.
so
The rest of us went in top 1 or 2. You went 3. No big deal.
Yeah.
All right, cool. All right.
You didn't give yours.
No, I don't care. No one cares outside of the top 2.
No,
Sorry.
you didn't give
It's
your
like-
one.
Yeah, I did. Real Madrid.
Oh,
Yeah, Real Madrid. Real Madrid win.
why do we?
He agreed with me for
Yeah.
once.
Real Madrid win. Barcelona.
All of
2.
us agreed with the. Come on, that's
Real
why.
Madrid are going to win the league.
But
It's
that's
easy.
why top 3 would have been interesting to
Nobody
see who had the
cares about
third.
anybody else in La
On
Liga.
to the Italian league.
Yeah,
No one cares about the Italian league.
I do. Oh, what about
America
AC
Club
America?
Milan plays for that.
I
It's
know.
America Club Milan.
I know.
I never knew what the AC stands for. Now I know. America
So it's
Club
absolutely
Milan.
pointless doing Serie A then, because you're going to pick AC Milan. You're going to pick AC Milan. Me and Craig are gonna probably pick Juve.
A real
No. Well, Juve can't. They're eliminated from
Yeah,
European competition.
no,
so,
Wait,
you
we
know.
didn't say anything about European competition. We said Serie A.
Oh, that's fine. We should do Serie A and do a top 3.
Why don't we do Serie A next week? We got some other stuff to get to here, boys. Let's do that
No
next
one's
week.
gonna go nap.
He's
Hey,
procrastinating.
Hey, Brooks, and hey, Nate. Do you know when Serie A
Hey,
kicks-
Craig.
Do you know when it kicks off?
Serie A?
Yep.
Is it
And a
couple
day that
weeks?
ends with a Y?
Mm-hmm. Yes,
Yep.
it does. You're right. When's the league kick off?
Mm,
See, nobody cares about Serie A. Nobody cares about Serie A.
because I know when it kicks off. That means if I don't care, or,
I've had August 11th scheduled on my calendar, circled on my calendar for a while now. I know when the EPL kicks off.
I mean, really, like,
Yeah.
I do recall.
so that's the 19th. So it's 2 weeks away.
I
by
do
the way.
recall Brooks on an earlier show a couple of weeks ago when it was just him and
August
I.
21st, by the way.
When it was just
He said 19th, but
when it was just Brooks and I at the Man United table.
Is there something in your...
The Red Devil table.
The Red Devil table, the Stretford End table.
Yeah.
I do remember.
Sir Alex
I do remember a
Ferguson
couple of
table.
weeks ago when you said like Christian Pulisic going to AC Milan. I will actually watch Serie A. You don't even know when it starts.
The 19th. What are you
20
talking about?
He just told you it was
It's
the
the
19th.
No, I didn't. I knew that
21st.
already.
It's the 24th anyway.
It's the 24th. He
No,
said
it's
the
not.
19th. He said the 21st, and you're saying the 24th.
It says the 19th. I just double checked. Napoli and I don't know how to pronounce that team.
Okay, Stato's
Yeah.
probably right on that one.
Yeah.
Stato, right?
Could be.
Stat boy.
What?
I don't like Stat boy. Stato.
Now,
Stato.
when does
I like Stato.
Cucking
Hold on.
FC play their first game?
Hold on.
Can we do the Saudi league for top
No,
three?
absolutely not.
Yeah, when does the
No,
Saudi league start?
Yeah. No, I do want to know
How about the J League? That's
who
one of
is-
my favorite leagues.
Who is the
too.
first game in Syria? You said you couldn't pronounce it. Who is it?
It's Napoli versus Frosinone?
Fiorentino?
No. Frossinone. Frasone?
Frasone.
It must be a newly promoted
Yeah.
team, to be honest.
Must
I
be.
think. Yeah, a newly promoted team.
Yeah.
Too bad for them. All right.
To the J League.
No, all right. So listen, Wrexham lost this weekend. Everybody and their freaking brother thought, well, holy crap, they just got promoted. They could actually go straight through the League Two and get to League One. Well, hey, there's a bunch of teams in League Two who've been there for several years and also are trying to get out and also have owners putting money into it. And yeah, game 1, 5-3 loss to Wrexham. Listen, this is going to be another battle. I don't see them getting out of this league for a couple of years. You want to get out of League 2? You got to put tens of millions of dollars into players, not just singles of millions of dollars into players.
Do they have tens of millions of dollars? I think they do.
You think Wrexham have tens of millions of dollars?
With
This
their
is their
sponsors.
first.
Ryan and Rob, yeah.
This is their
with
first
their
jump
sponsors-
up.
Yeah, with their sponsorships, your TV deals. I don't know how many other of those teams have a Hulu show. I think they could easily.
Well, I think that's what.
How many own their own cell phone company too?
He doesn't own a cell phone company.
How many?
owns
How many have?
brand
How many have the
it's-
sponsors that they have?
He did. He owned that, and I think he sold it.
Well, I mean, it's ever likely that they were going to do that, right? Because they needed investment, and I don't think either one of them wanted to pump so much more money into it. So the money that they get from sponsorships and the tour that they just did and the various different sponsorships they have, that's not going to necessarily translate to success in year one.
Correct.
And that's, I mean, going from the non-football league into the football league, that's a massive jump.
with teams that have been there for some of them been there for decades. Some of them
Decades.
can't get out of that league no matter what they try. You know, they jump up to League One, then they come back to League Two. Jump up to League One, come back to League Two. It's tough to get out of there. And look, I want to give you an example of Wrexham. What has happened it took them 3 years to get out of the non-league. It's taken them a while. There's no way.
No, Rob and Ryan have been there for 2.
Was it 2, 2.5? They
2
bought him in the
seasons.
middle
2.
of.
2 seasons.
2.
Was it 2 official?
It's the second season. That the first season of Welcome to Wrexham was about the first year. This
In the middle of
upcoming
COVID,
one.
though.
Mm.
In the middle of COVID is when they actually bought the team.
Are you sure?
Yeah. And I remember they didn't get out of it the first year. They weren't even close. They didn't even make the playoffs.
Let me look at. Let me.
One of the last games, look it up. One of the last games that they showed in the first season was they didn't make the playoffs. The second year they missed out on it.
Ah, correct. Okay.
The third
November
year,
2020.
right. The third
Okay.
year here is when they've now got promoted.
Okay.
And now they start their fourth year.
Okay.
It took them 3 years to get from non-league
Yeah.
to the first to league football. You know, League Division 2, League 2.
It's tough. And then when do you decide to, if you want to keep with the project and sell for someone that's going to give you more money? You know what I mean?
You can go buy a Paul Mullen for $3 million, $4 million, $5 million, whatever it is. But now you're up into League One, and now, League Two. If you want to buy a player from League One or above, you're looking at 10 to 15 to 20 million to buy players. It is not easy.
Well, this
is going to be a tough jump for them. I see them finishing, to be honest, mid-table-ish, 9, 10, 11, somewhere in there.
This is where you need an academy. Like, they have an academy at Wrexham, but like to develop the academy,
It takes
and then
years to do that.
you
though.
need to. I don't know what their scouting's like, but you need to go watch other teams in other leagues to see if there's interesting players that maybe aren't getting time somewhere that maybe want to come on loan or
You need
you can
investment.
buy.
You need investment
Yeah.
into the playing squad, and the thing
Yeah.
is that you can only get so much investment because there's only so much money that those lower league clubs have.
Yep.
So if you look traditionally over the years with clubs that have been promoted, you look at when Blackpool got promoted from the Championship into the Premier League, you know, they had to sign like 15 players when they got into the Premier League because a lot of those lads that got them into the Premier League
weren't good enough.
Went back on loan.
Oh,
you know, they were
yeah,
loanee players.
Yeah,
you know.
Same with Nottingham Forest last year. What they sign like 21 players last year?
Yeah, 100%.
In the middle of the season, because a lot of the players that they used went back on loan or just weren't good enough.
It's such a difficult league to get into. I mean, you know, Fleetwood Town are in League 2 with them, right? And one of my best friends is the owner. He's going through a bit of trouble right now, but he's the owner of Fleetwood Town, and they went through 6-7 promotions of non-league to get to League 2.
Yeah,
you know, at that point, they got promoted from League 2 into League 1. You know, but again, it's very, very difficult to stay there. You know, and he's pumped tens of millions of dollars into it.
Yeah,
you know,
you can, and that, like, again, that's why like what I do, like part time with the scouting stuff. It's you need the scouting team. You need the right stuff. Sometimes you can't afford the stats guys to pay them, but you need to do your homework, just like Brighton have, and find the right players. Don't overpay, and hope and pray that what you did translates.
Right.
Yeah, absolutely.
You know?
All right. Give us a quick update, Stato. I think we have a new name for you, Brooks. There. Give us an update. Who's up? Dallas or Inter Miami? We are now what should be in the start of the second half.
Yes.
What do we got?
Looks like let's see. We have FC Dallas against Inter Annoying. It's 2-1 FC Dallas.
But Messi definitely scored the first goal there, right, in the game?
He did. But he's got to win every game, right?
No, absolutely not.
Make it look good.
If his team wins, it's all because of him. If they lose,
it's all because of Messi didn't score.
Crappy teammates. No, Messi can score, but it's the crappy teammates he plays with in this MLS league.
But I mean, Michael Jordan always, helped his team win, even though when he had nothing around him. So, just saying, for years he's been
lost as to
I don't
where
understand.
we're going with
for
this.
years. Messi's been playing with high caliber players. When you put him with lower ones, let's see if he can put the team on his back and they can win.
Like the first 3 games of the. Anyway,
Yeah.
onwards. All right. We did have an interesting debate going on in our thread with the 4 of us a couple of days ago about preseason friendlies and how much stock you put into them. Is it worth it? Is it not worth it? What are the tactics? Are they meaningful? Are they meaningless? I think this actually started based on, if I'm not mistaken, was it the Man United versus Lions game? Where Man United won 3-1 at home in front of 70,000 at Old Trafford. We had a little bit of a debate. Someone saying they didn't play very well. They're very scared not scared, I'm going to paraphrase, worried going into the season based off of this performance. Another person saying it's preseason, no one cares, just don't get hurt. I'm on the fence a little bit, but boys, Nate, Danny. It's going to take me a while to change the names up here.
You could say Nate, Danny, and Brooks.
Well, specifically, I would like to talk to Danny and Nate about this because they had opposing opinions.
Fair enough, because they were the most heated in the
They
group
were the
text.
heated ones. Yeah, I think you and I set off to the side.
So is this next segment going to be a Elon Musk versus Zuckerberg type thing, or what?
Oh, I like that example.
I don't know. You're gonna
Or is it Ferguson versus Guardiola?
They never.
They never
Oh, yeah, you're right.
really went at it.
Never
really,
mind, you're right. Good point.
All right, so
I mean, unlike Danny, I'm not a plastic fan, and don't.
wow.
I'm not like.
Holy shit balls!
I'm
That
not-
was shots fired right across the bow. You're going to be sitting at that table.
I'm not one of these guys who are like, holy shit, we won a preseason game. We're winning the league.
I'm not saying
woo!"
that.
And I'm also not one of these guys like, oh my God, we lost. We're the worst team ever. Woo! It's
Says the guy that just talked about Stuttgart
I'm not
losing to Sheffield.
That's a different story.
I'm not going off the deep. I'm not going off the.
get that example.
I'm not going off the deep end.
You keep my Stuttgart out of your goddamn mouth.
I'm a supporter for them. Come on now. I like them. But I'm just saying, it just contradicts a little bit.
Mute this man.
I don't have the freaking board anymore.
Brooks, mute yourself.
All right.
I'm not.
All right, go ahead, Dan.
I'm not.
I was just joking.
I'm
man.
not. No, I'm not.
He's getting on the fence when I threw him off. Danny, I was completely joking.
They didn't play well for me. And I'm one that, I don't believe that a friendly 5-6 days before the start of the season is acceptable to play that way, and not give everything you've got, because at the end of the day, I mean, other fans might feel differently about their club, but I'm sure they all feel the same way. Is when you pull on that shirt for the club and you play for Manchester United, there's a big responsibility and a standard that goes with that. And I wasn't happy with the way that some of those players strolled around the pitch in a preseason game. You know, you've got match sharpness to come into it. You've got performances to come into it. At the end of the day, you're playing for the shirt and you're playing for the manager that demands it. And, you know, I didn't like the performance. I didn't like the performance against Borussia Dortmund. I didn't like the performance against Wrexham either, even when it was some of the youngsters in there. So there was parts of the preseason that I enjoyed, but, you know, and it was nice to see certain players getting a different run and all that sort of thing, but I wasn't happy at all.
And for me, I just look at it as what it is, which is a tune-up game that doesn't mean much. I don't know what's being said in the locker room. I don't know what players are being told individually or collectively to do, what type of things that they're trying to do. I don't think that the end score in a game like that is really what they're looking for. They're looking for a lot of other different things. And when you take those things into account, it's kind of like a training game or a practice. And yeah, you're trying to get ready, but there's different ways of getting ready. That's how I look at it.
Do you see it as more of?
I see it as United in the league.
Do you see it as more, though, Nate, for fitness purposes? Do you think it's important for that preseason?
I mean, no, it's not even because fitness, you do different things for fitness, right? You do different tests for fitness. I would say you don't just run out in a game just for fitness.
But you're not 90 minutes fit in that first preseason. You slowly work your way into being 90 minutes
fit as well. Yeah. But I do know just when you are working with a team and you're playing a game that essentially doesn't mean anything and you want to try different things. I don't know, like Jadon Sancho playing forward, example, or Harry Maguire touching the field at all, example. You know, that you're doing different things, you're throwing different things out there, and you're getting different looks and trying different things and incorporating different things and having a different message or a message that you're carrying out. And all that plays a factor in getting ready for the actual games, but it's not that one result. So them beating Arsenal 2-0 to me means nothing, means about as much as them losing to Dortmund, means about as much as them beating Lens, all part of the process. And you want to see different things from individual players, but not the end product.
I'm going to agree with you on parts there. I've also seen several of my teams go and play a preseason game and lose 2-1, where I thought, I'm completely happy today. I saw play. I saw people covering. I saw there was good touches. We just didn't put the ball in the back of the net. Some fluke goals. We let 2 in. It is what it is. But there's also games where I've said, great, we won 3-0 today, but no one was making good runs. They weren't playing. They didn't have good touches. We didn't get anything out of this game. So it's what you want to get out of it. But you can absolutely tell a game where touches are bad. Poor first touches, poor second touches. The ball somehow finds a way into the net for you and you win. And you're like, we still played poor today. It's all what you want to get out of the game. It's all what the coaches put in place. But obviously, there's a lot of teams that have had some really good preseasons. And I would actually, Villa have had a brilliant preseason. I'm still very cautiously optimistic going into the season. Just because we've won a couple of games, it doesn't mean anything. We've played well, but what was the opposition doing? Now you come into the game. One of the things I won't ever understand, this blew my mind. We played a week and a half ago here in America, Aston Villa did, against Newcastle United. Guess who we open up the season with
Newcastle
next week?
So you show your cards a little bit.
Lens.
Newcastle.
Did I get it right?
Oh,
Loans.
almost. Yeah, it's Lens.
So
This is Danny, you're going to realize we have to teach these guys how to pronounce the club names.
I know,
What do
right?
you mean? Middlesbrough.
try.
Yeah, right.
So for me, I mean, so I'll just take what I do for scouting, because the college game has their exhibitions, and how much do I buy into it? Well, I'm kind of with both of you. They need to play with some intensity, but you're also looking do they understand the system? How's their touch? Are they back in fitness shape? To me, it doesn't matter what the result is, just how well did you play. That's what I care about from the scouting perspective. But I mean, from the fan perspective, you want to see them play well. I don't care about the result as much as did you move the ball? Did you do what was supposed to be done? What your coach is telling you to do? That's what I'm looking for. The results to me don't matter, but
I didn't say anything about.
Oh, I know.
results.
I know.
The only thing I was concerned about was performance.
And your team won, by the way.
Yeah,
they
I mean,
won.
they
but it was
won
the overall
The
performance.
performance was poor.
Right.
You know, and the manager came out and said that as well. It was the performance that you know that you're looking for. He
You worry about
came out and said-
injuries?
No,
No.
you can't worry about injuries as a professional football player. You just can't. You've got to go out there and perform at the end of the day. I mean, those lads, they're playing for one of the biggest clubs in the world, right? They're competing for Champions League, all trophies that Ten Hag wants them to compete for this year. And I was disappointed with the performance, the speed of play, the desire to get forward, the desire to score goals. But it's glaring, absolutely glaring, that we don't. Well, we do have a forward now in Rasmus Højlund, but absolutely glaring to me. There was no end product in the final third of the field, and that is worrying 7 days out from the season.
Right.
And I agree with Craig. Like, it's stupid. If we're going to play Newcastle the first, like, why them? Like, as super far in advance you're playing the next season, and like play other teams. Don't give away what you're doing.
Yeah, it's a bit strange. Danny, I do want to get back to you. It is worrisome when you see your team play and no one has any just bite to it, and they're slow with the runs and they're slow with the passes and the touches is off. It is worrisome. Something that's come out today is Rasmus Højlund is now going to be out for 2 weeks. He is injured. They purchased him knowing he was injured, though.
Right.
Still went ahead with the purchase, but he is going to miss a minimum. They've said the first 2 weeks of the season.
I think he's back now. I think the story came out was in early part of preseason with Atalanta. He did something, right?
Yeah, he pulled a muscle.
Pulled a muscle, and then, they bought him with the premise that he was going to come back. He is training. They did say that he is training daily.
I thought I read today that he is still not training properly, but maybe I read.
Yeah, I was watching MUTV this morning.
Is he training improperly?
He's training. He's just he's just a week or so away from match fitness.
Yeah.
So
that's okay. So that's what it is. Yeah. He was injured, maybe still carrying a slight knock, but
and it came out today that he's going to wear the number 17, which was I thought was interesting because I thought.
Is that a special number of men?
No, absolutely
no, it's not. It's just I wanted
Fred's number, isn't it?
I wanted him.
Right.
I wanted him to wear 9 and get rid of Martial. In fact, that's what I would have paid anybody to take him.
What
mean Montreal?
What open numbers are there? Is there like what number? Is there a forward-ish number that's open? Because 17 isn't.
Well, there's a massive question mark right now over Mason Greenwood. So 11 would be open.
Yeah.
Whether he goes out on loan or not. But and that's why Garnacho's shirt, who was absolute, to be honest with you, that was probably one of the only bright sparks of the game, was the way that Garnacho played. What a player that we have on our hands there, that young man.
Except for his haircut. Oh
So
my
you're a
God,
tra-
his haircut.
So you're a traditionalist
Can you
where
pay him more money so he can get his haircut properly,
Yeah,
please?
absolutely.
so you're a traditionalist where you should wear the number of the position you play.
If you're
You're the 9, you should wear the
If
9.
you're spending 75 million euros on a player to lead the line, you give it the number 9 because
Yeah.
Martial's not the number 9.
Yeah. By the way, TFC Academy do that stuff, and they have these different numbers on their rosters, and it's the most annoying thing ever when you're scouting that team because nothing matches.
That's because that's not a real league.
This is the MLS Next Academy, so that's what I'm saying, Craig. So, yeah.
How is Messi doing in the MLS Next Academy?
I'm not. That's not referring to.
What's the score
I'm
update?
just
Does
saying.
he score
still
goals?
2-1, isn't it?
What's the update?
Probably
2-1.
2-1 still. All right, we do have a couple minutes left here, boys. One thing I want to get to, every week we're going to do a check-in with our guy Danny, who's running the WAS Fantasy Soccer Team. If you are looking to get in and join, it will be in the Facebook group. We'll put the link in there for the fantasy group. We'll put the code. Officially, our guy Michael Tyson is running the group. We're joining. Our guy Danny is running the We Are Soccer Team. Danny, I'm telling you right now, if this team fails and you make us look bad, it's on you. But if it wins, we all did a good job.
It's on Greg.
Yeah,
No
That's
problem.
because the three of us don't check it enough. Well, I don't watch Premier League enough, and then the three of us are just you and Nate are just.
I just enjoy watching the soccer, and then I always forget to change my team.
You don't like fantasy sports, though,
I heard
right?
something about money and I was out. Some cheap.
No, it's free.
Says the
free.
guy likes to place
Free.
bets,
It's
huh?
free.
Do you want to
It's free. It's free.
Do you want to pick the team together?
Can we pick the teams together?
We can.
Like a late night.
Like
session.
a late night couch session, picking the team together.
Do I get to wear my pajamas?
Watching Friends.
Yeah, watch your friends, right?
All right. So, all right, Danny, I do want to know. listen, the nice thing about it is I don't have to tell you. There's a limit of players you can have from one team. But give me right now, Danny, who would you pick as your star forward and a goalie?
Then everyone will know the team that we're
But you can all have the same team.
Star forward.
Oh, you can, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, we're definitely going with Haaland.
Thank you.
Know,
Yep.
to start with,
goals.
yeah,
Mhm.
we're definitely going with Haaland.
Højlund?
And then Hoyland. No, Haaland.
Hoyland?
No, Erling. Erling.
Erling.
We're going with Erling.
Who's your goalie? Who's going to be the goalie? Who do you think is going to gain points? Because you need a goalie who's going to get shutouts,
Turner.
but can also.
Onana.
No, I tell you, I tell you, he was really good last year. Was Newcastle goalie
Oh yeah,
Mm.
Pope.
Pope. Nick
Pope, yeah.
Pope was really good last
Pope,
year.
yeah.
Made a lot of saves,
So,
didn't he?
Yeah, he
Yeah.
did.
Okay, all right, I like that. Who's going to be the captain? Who are we picking for the captain of the We Are Soccer fantasy team?
Haaland.
Holland again?
Yeah.
Because
Don't you get, like, double-
Because you got double his points
Double
with
his points.
goals.
Yeah,
you
you
know?
get double points.
I knew we picked the right guy to run
know.
this team. I knew we picked the right guy. All right, boys, that's going to wrap us up. Listen, guys, hopefully you enjoyed it. Please do us a huge, huge favor. Give our partners some love on social media, Soccer World, and also visit them at soccerworld.net for all your soccer gear needs. Next Level Training, the best trainers in the country. Those guys are out playing a game today for their over 30 team, killing it. Man, they're good. Dog and Pony Show Brewing, appreciate the love and the beer they provide. We will be down there in the next couple of weeks hanging out, drinking beer. Come visit us. Thank you to the Michigan Jags as they kick up their season this week. My kids are looking forward to it. All right, boys and girls, thank you for watching. Boys at the Kids Table and Stato Brooks. Boys.
Can you find a better nickname?
Nope,
for me?
that's it. Well done. You're in. All right, we're out. Cheers, guys.